Hello, viewers and listeners. Jordan here, and welcome to Heroes of Thylea. Heroes of Thylea is an actual play of D&D 5th edition. This actual play is a Lionhead Gaming production of Odyssey of the Dragonlords, an epic adventure book for 5th edition created by Arcanum Worlds. It blends classic fantasy with Greek mythology to create an adventure of epic scope, storytelling, and heroes, combined with my own changes to create something unique and wonderful that I hope both you and my excellent cast of close friends enjoy. Now, with us being in the month of March, I do want to bring attention to the fact that it is Women's History Month, and Lionhead Gaming, in celebration of that, is running a giveaway for an outstanding anthology known as the Uncaged Anthology. A reinterpretation of a host of tropes revolving around female monsters such as Medusa, hags, and harpies. You can find more information about that in the Twitch chat or in the podcast video recording description with a link to where you can participate in the giveaway and receive more information. So, with that, I've talked long enough. It is time for us now to begin with a recap from Mr. Brendan. Now, give me 1 second.
Go away.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. A little bit of an excerpt here. Spring. Cantian 1st to the 4th. I answered the call of an agent of the Oracle, a woman named Kira. She promised answers to my problems if I was willing to travel to a small inn outside of Maitros on the 1st of Cantian. The promise was dubious, but at this point, I have little else to set my efforts towards. I sold what little I had left and purchased transport to the inn. Once I arrived, I discovered that I was not the only one called. Several others had been given promises before me, and I suppose, if I do not serve the purpose they set for me, others will come after. Kira gave myself and 5 others a task that had to be performed to earn our meeting with the Oracle. We sought a huge boar, and, well, seems like others sought out the same and failed to do so. It was a hard-fought battle. We were victorious, although I must be more wary to fortify myself going forward. The beast spoke of a prophecy of its own, of how Thylea will pay for its sins. It was very reminiscent of the stories told to children and within religious meetings to mind one's manners when speaking of the Titans. With our victory, we plan to travel southwest, to the Temple of the Oracle. A 2-day travel at most, we were hopeful for answers. However, the others saw their first bit of reality in contrast to this promise of being chosen when we were forced to flee from an abandoned living grove, fall into confusion and hostility without its spiritual center to guide it. And although we faced such tribulations, we were still able to arrive at the entrance of the Oracle's temple. I remember the air wavered with the heat that seemed to radiate off the stone structure of the place. We left the pack animals behind and ventured forth. Kira possibly knew of what we were going to find next, as she remained behind as well at our first approach. We discovered that the front of the temple was within a strange cave system, hidden away from the rest of the world. Water ran within, but it almost seemed to boil with the amount of heated vapor that filled the cave. It was obvious that something was amiss. The elemental nature of the place was wild beyond reconciliation to our mere presence. Creatures of steam emerged from the vapors and attacked us without warning. Although dispatched quickly, our actions allowed others inside the temple itself to discover our approach. Self-proclaimed followers of Sidon seem to have invaded this temple, taken the attendants of the Oracle hostage, and even threatened the life of the Oracle herself. They screamed of not allowing our task to be complete. They were dispatched into order. And although the struggle and the temperature of the place weighed on our group, we continued to seek answers from the attendants, now freed. An elderly man spoke of how they had taken the Oracle hostage, as well and set it all up below, keeping her there, away from those that sought to free her, and it was up to us to aid. To reach the Oracle, we were forced to face strange animated swords, seemingly meant to protect the place. If they were not used for its defense, however, then possibly the attackers were not so foreign to the Oracle after all. Well, with much of our strength spent, we made haste to the lower depths of the temple, where we were met with a strange laugh. We could only hope the Oracle was still alive. I did not come this far to simply add another injury to my long list of failures.
Well done, Monsieur Brendan, as you all gain 1 point of inspiration.
Cool beans.
Oh, yay!
Indeed. As we come back in, you all have just descended down into the Oracle's grotto. You can see liquid blue light shimmering and refracting across the slick walls of this rocky place. The room lit by candles and a large brazier filled with the vaporous mist of steaming hot springs. You hear the water cascading into an underground river further into the cave. And only about 10 feet away from you, you see another body. No obvious wounds, save for a swollen and scalded wet face with water slowly streaming from her mouth.
And we did hear the laugh, right?
Indeed.
What does this statue look like down here?
That's the large brazier that's burning with fire,
Okay.
creating most
And are
of the light in the
these
space.
are these like rugs or are they like
Yep.
like a pile of tarps? Okay.
Pile of tarps.
Yeah, I need to know if these are like lying flat on the ground or if they are like piles of tarps.
Yeah. Yeah.
How tall is the ceiling?
10 feet.
I'm gonna walk over to the woman, try to see if she is dead or if I can save her.
Yeah, looking down at her, it's quite apparent to you. She's dead. Eyes glassy and unmoving.
Where are you? Come on out.
I'm going to check out the burning brazier. I don't know if
It's
there's
quite
anything to
hot.
glean from it.
Wait.
Okay.
Is it still like crazy hot in here? Like uncomfortably hot?
Near the brazier it is.
But like elsewhere?
All the water seems to be quite hot, emanating steam from all around it. It's still noticeably quite uncomfortable, at least for the time being.
Okay. Well, some gotta be deeper in here somewhere.
Yes, probably at the end, down that hall. Tunnel, rather.
Oh, fun.
Y'all hear that weird laughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't
Yes.
normal.
No.
No. I don't
Indeed.
imagine so.
That is clearly our adversary.
Well, I sure hope one of y'all go and stick a big old pointed spear in that adversary.
And Nyx, as you press on, you hear another cackle emanate from deeper within. But as you step past here, the voluminous and decadent rugs atop the stone nearby fly towards you all. Roll initiative. You all
no.
are surprised.
They were tarps after all!
I knew it! They're
Damn
flying
tarps.
rugs!
Cursed tarps.
Y'all
Curse you,
laughed,
Timothy's
but
tarps!
I knew to be suspicious!
Tarps of strangling.
You knew. Oh, ow.
I knew!
It's always the tarps.
Tarps of strangling.
Why do I always roll crap initiative?
It's okay. It's
No,
it's
we saw it
okay.
one more
I feel
time.
that.
Gotta be more of a smarty pants.
Yeah, that's the thing. Initiative here is about being smart.
Jordan, reload it one more time.
I got you. I haven't
Yeah,
even
you
added
saw
my
it
stuff to
before.
it yet.
Oh no, not a -1! Take that stupid rug.
Take that.
It wasn't a tarp, guys, it was a rug! Oh, we should have known they were rugs. Rugs are
I
always
knew a thing or
evil.
two about
Mothering.
rugs. I had every right to be concerned about those rugs.
You are not the same carpet from Aladdin.
Wow, they're big.
Evil twins.
Oh boy. Oh wait, it's like that thing from the thing on Thursday's game.
In another life, they would have
Thing.
smothered you.
Man, I hope Thamos is alright.
He's right there.
I know.
As Atreus, quick to react to the sudden movement of these strange animated rugs that seem to be looking, as best you can tell, looking with hostile intent. But unfortunately, you are still surprised, not expecting rugs to be your nemesis. Nyx, you're surprised. Theamos, also surprised, as the rug to your left, just beneath the other, leaps out from underneath it and tries to wrap itself around you. I need a defense roll, DC 17
For me?
No,
from Theamos. Nicely done. As this thing tries to wrap itself around you, you're able to fend it off quite adeptly. Mercury, you are also surprised. Sophia and Impheria, surprised along with Ivis, taking their turn on yours. As the second rug of smothering is now going to move itself over and after the intruder. As Nyx, I need a defense roll from you. DC 17 as this thing tries to wrap itself around you
15.
and smother you. As it does, and you are grappled.
Uh-oh.
Can I take
As
my
the-
reaction after? Because I'm no longer surprised since my turn left, or yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will attempt to stab at him.
I will also attempt to stab out the rug.
Oh, yeah, you can do your thing, Atreus.
Cause I'm right next to you.
Ow.
Hey.
And I felt that pain. Yes.
23.
All right. This thing, being only made of fabric animated through strange magic, moves away from Theamos as you're able to easily cut into it, chopping a decent section of it off. And as it approaches Nyx and tries to wrap her up and crush and smother her, it is able to do so, but just before Atreus, you're able to carve into it with your spear, removing a chunk of it as well. Yes, let me get that damage roll from you. Another 6 damage. As this thing is poked with a very large hole and the bottom left corner of it just completely cleaved off, but it is able to wrap itself around you, Nyx, as you are grappled. Go ahead and put that on you. Grabbed up. And you can use your action to try to escape. The DC for that is 13. But you are restrained, blinded, and slowly but surely suffocating. As you also take... Give me that spicy damage. Okay, well, of course I rolled a crit. Yeah, damage. All right, cool.
Where?
Give me 1 second.
Give me the damage.
Was it 2d6? As you take
Oof.
14 bludgeoning damage as this thing wraps itself around you and just squeezes in quite quickly and quite hard, bruising up your entire chest and arms for a host of damage.
You said 14?
14.
Oh boy. Oh no!
You are blinded and restrained.
I'm also blinded?
Yeah, you can't see a
suffocating.
damn thing. This thing wraps itself
suffocating.
up around your whole upper body and your face and is just choking the life out of you.
Well,
You
dude,
could say you're being smothered.
Yeah.
Alright,
Alright.
roll the Seinfeld theme, we're over. It's over, guys.
And with that, we
Chase Bomb
come.
said it all for me.
With that, we come back now to Atreus. This thing wrapped around Nyx. What do you do?
See, this isn't fair because I know how the rug works.
Hey, it might be a different rug in this world. You don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We can never tell anymore.
Yeah. Oh, well, sorry in advance, Mel.
Metagaming.
Yeah, I know. That's the unfortunate part. Sorry in advance, Mel.
Then you gotta do like the
Atreus.
dumb thing just to try to not
Yeah.
metagame. It's like,
Uh-huh.
that also doesn't make any sense.
It's absolutely
the-
the worst because I know how the rug works, but also Atreus
I literally
doesn't.
don't know
But
how
I
the
do,
rug
but I
works.
Yeah,
don't.
I know
don't know.
you don't know how the rug works, but looking at the situation in front of you, I can say that Atreus can reasonably estimate by looking at the rug around Nyx's upper body and face that while he is well disciplined, Atreus would know if he tries to stab this thing with this spear, he's probably going to hit Nyx as well. You can just deduce
Yep,
that
you
by
get
looking at it.
skewered. You also get skewered, Mel.
That's not
Which
how
is,
object permanence works. It's fine. You
Yeah,
can't
I
see her.
know,
She's
yeah.
not there.
Yeah, she's not there. Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, so I would say your character would reasonably be able to understand that by looking at the situation in front of them.
Okay. Atreus will use one of his actions, or well, use one of his attacks to try and ungrapple the rug. Try to just remove the rug from Nyx.
You're going to drop your spear so you have a free hand?
Uh-huh.
All right. Dropping your spear so you have a free hand, and then giving yourself. Well, how do you try to break this this grapple with one of your attacks?
Well, I'm guessing that because the spear sort of the rug wrapped itself around Nyx, he'll try to just grab, I would say like a free side, one of the parts that isn't so closely entwined, and just try to rip it, sort of spinning Nyx like a top, I guess. That's how I
All right.
imagined how you described it wrapping around her. So,
You look like a banana.
feel her like a banana. I mean, I could just open her like a can too, but I don't think we
Alright.
want that.
Pop me out like the
athletics.
spinach from
Yeah,
Popeye.
go ahead and give me an athletics check.
It's like, boop.
Athletics check. Aw. Okay, I'll use one of my inspiration. It's fine. Actually,
Yeah.
no, I'll use it.
Gonna use your mythic inspiration to re-roll that.
It's not even that much better. How many
11.
inspirations can I blow on the single roll?
1.
Are you sure?
I'm
I have 2
92%
points.
Goofy babe. And I'll do it again.
sure. As the thing is gonna try to maintain its hold on Nyx's face and upper body. Yeah. Ooh. It is
Oh, well,
determined
not 20
to
anyways.
choke
Dun, 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 dun,
the
dun.
life out of
with
Nyx.
a
Alright,
nat 20.
Alright, I tried Nyx. Alright, you'll have to break it on your own. That'll be Atreus' turn.
Alright. Nyx, blind and choking. What do you do?
Oh, that means I can't use verbal components if I'm choking.
Nope.
Right?
Yep, you can't see either.
I can't see either. Oh, holy crap. Okay, I'm going to try to. I don't think I have anything. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to get out of it.
All
What do I
right,
roll for
utilizing
that?
your action to try to get out of it. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
20!
Ooh, DC was 13, getting a 20 on your strength. At the well, it's the same, it's the same addition, I believe. So, forcing this thing off yourself. How do you do it? How do you get this rug off your face?
I'm gonna use my staff a bit as leverage and try to just stab at it as I aggressively push this thing away from me, letting it like unfurl and having my back towards the back of the wall. And with my bonus action, just cast a healing word on myself. So I can get healed for 5 HP.
Alright.
Do you want the potion Ivis is carrying?
Oh wait, we do have potions. It's a bonus action to do a potion on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Can I do that instead?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's Andy.
Yeah, what do I roll for that? Is that the D4? Something?
Actually, just a D1D.
It's your hit die.
Oh, whatever my
A
hit die
1d8.
is. So 1d8. Okay.
It's 2 your hit die.
2 of my hit die. 2d8s.
Plus 2.
Alright.
Oof.
So that is a 7. I heal for 7.
But you do keep a spell slot.
But I do keep a spell slot, and that's what matters. Alright, that's gonna be my turn.
Alright. Now, Theomo's sword in hand, rug in front of you. What do you do?
Seeing how Nyx got smothered and might be in a terrible state, but got herself out and wanted to raise my shield up between me and this creature and just kind of pivot around it so I can get closer to this one, as I will take a quick stab at that creature.
Alright,
Hopefully not
stab it.
stabbing Nyx.
Yeah, this thing seems to be halfway into the steamy waters of the grotto, trying to get itself back up onto Nyx, not really paying attention to you. And you are able to easily stab out into it and strike true with your longsword for 12 slashing damage. You cut this thing nearly in half. It's sort of just like hanging on, quite literally, by just a few threads.
I was say, Nyx, you need to get away from these things or they'll kill you.
No, really.
I
That's my turn.
appreciate the advice, Theomos.
And just as quickly, this thing is trying to wrap itself around your face and upper body, trying to choke the life out of you. Another defense roll from you, Theomos, DC 17. Ooh,
Nice.
with a 19 plus 11.
Winning.
Oh my god.
You still have Shield of Faith running? Is that why you have 11?
Do I still have that ready?
10 minutes.
Probably.
Oh, is it 10 minutes? All right,
There's
perfect.
10 minutes, yeah.
Lots of it.
Oh, but I also still have shield wall, so -3.
Okay, so 27. Yeah.
Oh,
Nicely
shucks.
done.
Only a 27.
Big
Able to
difference.
easily fend this thing's attack off as Mercury, these rugs animated and smothering your allies. What do you do?
Right, so... How smart am I? I'm not smart. Yep, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go over here, and I am gonna shoot this rug with a firebolt.
That is easily able to connect as your firebolt connects with the upper half of this thing, engulfing it in flames. As how do you want to take this thing out?
As I just beat my wings farther away, the steam just kind of swirls in kind of a tornado-like shape as I just kind of use my wings to channel it, as just the sparks from the flames of these candles move into this steam tornado as it just fires out into this hellish-looking spiral of flame, just catching this carpet and licking all around it as it just singes and melts away, leaving Nyx just kind of standing there.
All right.
It's gonna be my turn.
Nice. Sophia, as you see one of these carpets singed and burnt up at the top, cut almost in half and chopped up, sinking down into the flowing waters of the grotto. The other one still animated, still trying to get itself around Theomos. What do you do?
Yeah,
keeping an eye on what's else going on. Doesn't look like anything else is springing to life, and seeing one of these rugs explode into flames, just fall to pieces, she is just going to take a cautious step back here, back to where Darius is, just making sure she's got some range on this thing, as she's going to call upon a bit of magic, that strange gray mist forming over her hand, although she's going to hold on to it before she releases it until someone strikes this other carpet to form a weakness that she can expose and eat away at with that necrotic magic of hers. As I'm going to hold a Toll the Dead until the creature takes damage.
All right. Trying to capitalize on your magic, use it most effectively when a creature is vulnerable. Nicely done. Come now to you, Inferior.
It's not wrapped around Samus, right?
It is not. It's just trying to, but it's not. He has not grappled.
Then we're gonna just walk in.
Speak up a little bit. I couldn't quite hear what you were saying.
Then we're just going to chakram.
All right. Crank you up a bit as you send out your 2 chakrams, each of them easily able to connect, just carving swath through this thing, chopping it up potentially into thirds. Let me get that damage from both of those attacks. Ooh, 9 and 8 damage
9?
for a total of 17. Nicely done. This thing just split almost right down the middle. As your chakrams come sailing back through the grotto, back towards your hand. That's all you're gonna do? You want
Yeah.
Ibis?
Oh,
Ibis
yeah.
is on your turn now.
Ibis
Don't forget little Ibis.
Ibis is going to rain iron on this rug. There we go.
Rain Iron!
Rain
16!
that iron.
Man, it's like I can even hear it hitting.
I know, right? Ibis spinning around, bringing up their wings and sending out their spiked pinions, piercing into this thing for another 7 damage. Nicely done. As this rug of smothering is dead.
Who is it?
And with plenty of weaknesses exposed, the being torn apart and cut, the necrotic magic is going to start to try to eat away at the exposed inner lining as it just sort of peels away the fibers to pull it. Well, 6 damage, maybe. Wisdom save.
I like how you rolled higher on the D8 or whatever.
Yep.
It
Classic.
happens.
Let's see if this rug is wise enough to supersede your magic. Oof.
12?
With a 12, that'll not do it, as it takes 6 necrotic damage. The colorful, resplendent patterns on this thing presumably turning sickly mottled gray.
Basically, wherever the damage was inflicted on this thing, the fibers in the broken up part turn gray and almost seem to move by themselves as it just peels itself, just ripping and tearing open the already torn open side.
Right. We come now to the top of initiative, echoing from deeper within the cavern. Oh, sounds like we have guests. I guess we'll have to hurry this up then. Oh.
Well, there's something crazy down here.
Atreus,
I think
it
there was
is
something
your
crazy
turn.
upstairs too. Atreus
take
will
any
scoop up
damage?
his spear.
Picking up your spear up off the ground.
Did it not take any damage, God?
From what?
Health looks the same. I'm told it did.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it took 6 damage. It looks like it is on death's door.
It's on its last
The rug.
threads.
Ha!
Nix, give me a con save.
All right, doomed one.
5?
And it gets worse.
Interesting.
And she
All right.
Keeps getting worse. Get
Ooh.
Go ahead and
good.
notate that down. Ooh, Atreus hopping
Alright,
over to
back to
finish
corned
this. with a nat 20, 26 total for 12 damage. How do you impale, skewer this rug?
Atreus will capitalizing the what's Brendan's character's name again? It's like not coming to me.
Sophia.
Yeah, that. Sophia. I was thinking Inferior. I was like, no, that's not right. That's the wrong EO. It's the wrong EO ending name. Yeah, capitalizing on Sophia's magics, weakening it down, probably slowing down its movements. Atreus will just go for the death blow. Just skewing on through it and then sort of sending his spear down, slashing at it. Tearing it to ribbons. Well, he's tearing it in half.
Nicely done. This thing is skewered to the rock, just a mottled mess of thread, animating magic quashed from within.
Oh boy.
As once again, we return to just the two sounds of the gurgling waters. Come now! Don't cry! Don't cry! Helica is here to put a smile on your face!
Oh no!
You cut out after don't cry.
Come now! Don't cry! Helica is here to put a smile on your face!
I'm gonna try to get to this point and see if I can put my back against the wall and peer around the corner, but
Laka! I cut too low!
Well, we need to get in there. She said something about cutting something.
No! As you come around the corner... What's up?
I want to see if I can, from around the corner, because I can see her, I want to see if I can cast a sacred flame upon her.
Alright, go ahead and roll initiative.
No, that's fair.
You come around the corner, you see this large warbling mass of water holding in multiple tendrils what you can best guess would be the Oracle covered in these beautiful raiments as she looks on in horror into this room that you can just barely see a bit of light emanating from.
I like that we established that initiative is int based, and then the smart girl gets nat 20 in the next initiative.
Yep.
I tried it significantly better this time than last time.
I get to intelligently just hang the fuck back here. God, how far can I jump?
Yes. 1 second.
Remember, the floor's lava.
No, it's just hot water. It is not so hot that it was scalding or anything like that from previous experience. All right, good.
God, I can only jump 4 feet.
Oh my god. Can't even jump a whole square.
As you begin the incantations to call upon Sacred Flame, you can see the Oracle bound by this strange creature, tears streaming down her face. Hold on, Dora. Hold on. Just stop the bleeding. You'll be okay. Please, you have to save her. As Sophia, it comes to you, the sounds of all of this echoing through the cave. You know something is quite wrong. Some monster waits for you around the bend. What do you do?
There's no real way to get into the mess of things without chipping through all my allies. I'm just going to look back at Atreus. Looks like they need your help more than I. as I'm going to just step around him, opening up the way, but then holding my action to rush forward after the path starts to clear. So basically, when it looks like I got a relatively clear path up to around the corner, I'll move forward as long as, as long as there's no more than 2 people in the way. Yes. So hold my move.
Got you. As you can hear from within the sounds of more splatters. As let's see how she's doing. As whoever it is the Oracle is concerned about needs to make a death saving throw. Getting an 18 on her death save, she hangs on. Life in the balance.
Boy.
All right. That's it for Diana. Mercury.
Well, I was getting a lot of torch before somebody was shooting something so I could see something, but since I can't see nothing, I'm just gonna move back here.
I have a I have a lantern on.
I don't see nothing around that corner. It's just a solid black line. As
Do you see something
I'm
now?
gonna cast me. Yeah, now I see shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah, because you have to keep the torch like at the front of wherever it is you're moving, because it's not going to get past like this wall there when it was
Okay.
on the left corner. Yeah, you're good. There's a lot to keep track of.
Right. So does this thing look like just a whole bunch of water, whatnot?
Yeah, it just looks like a whole bunch of water. You can see a definitive like face in it, as it just seems to like be looking at you like with like these sort of watery fangs, and you can just see tendrils of water holding on to the forelimbs of Versi. Looks quite
Yep,
hostile.
How about a nope? Is I'm just gonna move on back there and gonna cast me a little bit of bless on myself, on Theamos, and on Inferior.
All right.
Wait, why am I orange? Oh, because I'm concentrating.
Yes. Nyx, it comes to you.
Yeah,
Oh, what's that?
that's my turn. Nope, that's my turn.
Am I wise enough to know if hitting this creature is gonna hurt Versi or not? 'Cause I know Versi's like
yeah.
wrapped up within it.
Yeah, she's currently suspended above it, so you can almost imagine like this sort of watery looking like sort of snake coming out of the stream, and you can see 4 tendrils of water coming from the body of the snake, holding on to each of her arms and each of her legs up above it, as it looks at you and sort of almost kind of watery hisses, and you can see steam come out of its mouth. You can also go ahead and give me an insight check as well. I'd like to utilize insight for quick battlefield assessment to see what it is you can
9.
deduce. 9. You're like 50% sure that she should be fine. Modified by anything that you want to take from my description.
All right, so I am going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon right by the creature and try to lash out at it. There's my spear. It goes stab.
Summoning up this spiritual spear.
With a 15.
Oh. Yeah, the Oracle's the one being held. The one that's bleeding out on the ground is Diana. With a 15, summoning forth this spiritual spear, it pierces into the side of this strange, weird, watery form and seems to rip away a bit of its mass, inflicting damage to it. Let me get that damage roll.
11.
Ooh, 11 force damage. Nicely struck.
And as my spear strikes it from the other side, I am going to use my action to cast Sacred Flame down upon it. At a DC 14 dex for 8 damage.
Yeah,
Damage.
what's your sacred flame look like again? It's like a star, or what is it?
Yes, it's going to start with a twinkling above, almost in like the shadow, and then shoot down into this creature.
Yeah, so what you're easily able to perceive from where you are, you can see that star forming up, and you can see the water weird sort of glance up at, like, with its strange watery face. No eyes that you can see, but these small divots.
Oh no, you're cut out! Upset! I'm in it!
You can see it look up and see the this magic forming up above it, and you can see the tendrils kind of yank on Versi and move her out of the way as it strikes down on it and as it tries to move itself out of the way as well. Whew. And it does so quite quickly with a nat 20 to its dex save.
Whoa.
As it moves itself and Versi quite quickly out of the way as your star, the sacred flame, splashes into the water, unable to strike true.
Oh god, if I jump over, okay, I need to get out of the way because I'm in front of everybody. If I jump over here, would I be able to, is that like someplace I can move to?
That space over there, yeah, you can definitely get over to the other side of the grotto onto that lip of stone and rock coming out, yeah. All that space is traversable.
I'm gonna jump over here so that
right.
I can make way for everybody else, and that will be my turn.
Yeah, the square to your south you can't move to, but yeah, you can be there.
No, I just needed to move my torch because it was under me.
All right, Inferior, the sounds of spells, magic, and bleeding can be heard from up north. What do you do?
I'm going to. The water's just hot, right? It's not like scalding, it's just hot.
Yes, and just seems to be just jacuzzi hot tub hot.
Okay. Do I have any idea how deep it is?
With all the mist that hangs over it, it is kind of hard to tell. With just a quick glance.
Well, can I just go first, just to get him out of my way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same initiative. Okay, so Iris is going to fly over here. Over by. Oh, I don't have Iris's sightline on mine. So I'm confused.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Perfect.
There you go. Can you see?
And yes, perfect. And Iris is going to rain iron on this water monster.
Nice. Calling upon your pinions once again, Ivis able to streak out these metallic iron darts, and they strike true with a 13 or 15 to hit. Let's see here. Let's see how much damage.
Spicy damage. No.
Ooh,
Spicy 4 damage. As you can see these pinions, or Ivis can see these pinions sort of strike into it, and Nyx, I guess you can see it from where you are as well. And you see they seem to just sort of like pierce in a little bit and just get slowed quite heavily by the watery mass of this thing. Not really able to really dig and pierce into this thing quite as deeply as it would flesh.
Alright. And then Inferior is going to go up to the water and like not step fully in it, but like start to step in it, see how deep it is.
Yeah, stepping into it there, you can feel the heat from the water rise up past your foot, past your ankle. It's about halfway up your calf. Keep going. It's at your knee, and it seems to go up about halfway up to your thigh.
And then it stops. I hit the ground.
You hit the ground.
Cool. I will wade into the water to here. I guess I have to come to here.
Powering through the water, as you step there, you can feel it sort of get a little bit deeper as the water rises up a little bit more, now to just about above your hip line as you are now entering difficult terrain.
In what?
Now I'm the waist in water.
Yeah, you're up to your waist in water.
So like, is that like 5 feet? Cause you know Fury is like crazy tall, or is that like 4 feet? Cause she's crazy tall.
height is like 4'2".
Yeah, so about 4.5 feet, I guess.
Okay. Gotta have wings.
You and me would drown.
Yep, the short people.
Okay, and then I'm gonna
That's it for you?
no, that's not it. I was just having an internal debate. I am going to Hunter's Mark. I thought there it is. Stop, come back. I'm going to Hunter's Mark the water creature, so Inferior just kind of makes this gesture with her hand and almost like blows on her palm, and then this words image appears on the water that is a grove of trees, and the one in the middle has a coppice with a chakram on top of it, and it glows an eerie like green, the same color as Inferia's skin. And then I'm going to throw chakram at this creature.
Nicely done. Bringing up your hunter's mark, marking with the green coppice and chakram upon the tree, upon this creature, and throwing out your chakram with a nat 20. You soundly connect with this thing. As yes, you are required to dab. It is legally required. There you go. Oh, you did it. All right.
Failed the test. Goodbye.
All right, let's see. Look at that damage for. Nice. 8 damage from the chakram. And then the hunter's mark as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot to.
You get to double that, don't you?
I do apologize. Come back here. What rolls a 1.
You get one.
You get a second one.
Yep.
I get, oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's crit.
5. Hey,
there you go. For a total of 14 damage as your chakram just spins through the air, striking quite true, almost right where that sign, this hunter's mark, has appeared on it, and just tries to rip through this water. You can see it gets slowed down quite a lot as it's tearing through it, but it's still able to inflict a hearty amount of damage on it in spite of that, before pulling itself through, following your throw and flying back to your hand.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to step back around the corner.
Indeed. Is this thing torn with it and marked by this strange magic? Seeing you approaching, Nick, you can see its head sort of warble and turn and look to its right into this cavern with a strange soft cackling has been emanating from, as it just seems to shift back, attached to the water, holding on to Versi. Move this out of the way really quick. And just seems to almost sort of pull itself further up the river, trying to get itself away from you all. Because that is all it does. Let's see. And it seems to just sort of lower itself into the water, keeping a hold of Versi, but making itself a much harder target to hit, as it just seems to be watching quite closely, as it's going to take the dodge action. Theamos, it's on you.
Theamos is going to run around this corner to see what's going on. Seeing the creature trying to slink away, he will continue his rush, quick action, make it, and attempt to slash at this creature.
As you move into the water, it is going to be difficult terrain, just fording across it, but you are able to get up to this. What's up?
You break it out so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to attempt to dance.
Dab.
Hold on. Let me try this. Hopefully this helps. Gonna lower my gate a bit there. That might be what's cutting me off, maybe. Yeah, it is going. No, you're good. You make your way up to it, fording your way through the water, and you can see it just hanging itself low to the water, to the ground, trying to keep itself away from you as it is dodging. And you can see sort of clearly into this offshoot room, this hideous-looking mottled creature, but you're focusing your attention on the strange water snake. As let me get that attack roll with disadvantage. Ooh, as it is just barely able to get itself away from you in time as you lash out with your sword, splashing down into the water.
So I'll be my turn.
All right. Why did it skip her? That's weird. Let me just cycle through. Okay. You see this horrific looking creature just sort of comes stumbling out. You hear the clatter of a bronze knife clattering against the stone as it drops it. Wet, mottled hair hanging in front of its face. Oh, you're a pretty one, aren't you? As
Same for you.
Got him.
I doubt that. As it moves up to you, and is going to Now that you can see it quite clearly, this thing is horrifying as it's going to reach back one of its hands. You can see its long fingers seem to almost still.
Get worse.
Yeah,
Does
I
it
don't
sound
know what's up
staticky
with
or is it?
No, you're just cutting out, like your voice is disappearing.
Yeah, your mic's just turning off.
Silly Mike.
Bear with me. Okay, we're just gonna turn the gate off entirely and make sure that there's nothing in play. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. Yeah, we were getting double gated there. For some reason it was set to automatically determine input sensitivity, which was screwing. Good. And then I'll bring the gate back on because that should be set to where it needs to be. Don't want to have two gates, guys. Make sure your audio is good. All right, so we should be good going forward now. Now I set the level low enough. You can see it's reaching back its hand, these long blue fingers, and you can see quite quickly, Theamos, what looks like the strange, colorful pattern of hard rock just form over its hand as these like long talons. Am I still getting cut out?
No.
Okay, these long talons, because I looked at Brendan and I saw him like looking with like a look of worry and I was freaking out. These long talons of what you can best guess is coral as it just lashes out at you, trying to rip open your throat. Give me a defense roll, DC 17.
Don't get cut.
Wrong button.
Cut her back.
Ooh, as it grabs at your chest and tries to rip you open. Let's see, what do we get for that spicy damage? Ooh, as these coral claws rip through you for 9 slashing damage. As it throws its head back in laughter, you can truly see its horrifying face. As as we'll have something interesting for when you start up your turn. As you can see this thing's horrific appearance now, truly an utterly disgusting creature. As we come to you now, Atreus.
taking Sophia's politeness. This will move up. That's his movement. What can you see? Oh god, that thing is
Use my reaction to
horrible.
follow after. Right here.
Yeah, so get a little spicy zoomy zoom.
Oh my Lanta.
That is the horrifying thing
Yeah,
you are
seriously, use
seeing.
his action to dash.
Why does it tongue looks like a cucumber?
I thought it was
Come
eating.
closer and ask.
No, thank you.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Grandma's got a cucumber.
Yeah, as you come, let's see. As you come around the corner, Atreus, and you can see this thing. So go back to where you were before you dashed.
Like around there? Actually,
Yeah. As you see
Okay.
this thing look up at you, blood streaming down its coral claws, and you can see its horrifying appearance. Give me a wisdom saving throw. DC 11.
Oh no!
As you come
Wait,
around
don't
the
you have
corner,
any inspiration?
It doesn't.
yeah, but what if I need it for something that actually needs to be rerolled?
I'm about to scare the crap out of you. I don't know. You want to push past
wanna
it?
be a little
Just the
scaredy boy.
fear. Just the feared condition. It's okay. It's magically induced. If your party members make magic taking over your mind, then they really don't understand how magic works.
Right there, Tracy, little baby man.
I use my action to put Sophia in front of me as a shield. And I hide behind her. I use her to tank up the fear instead.
Soak it up.
Yeah.
Nice. As you
Take
come
my
around the
status
corner,
effect.
you weren't sure what it was making the sound, what it was that was accosting the oracle, and this thing that you were seeing is much worse than anything you could have anticipated. Something you've never seen before. Its appearance utterly alien to you and horrifying as you are forced to be afraid of it. A supernatural presence as you are frightened.
What in the goods? As that'll be a choices then.
All right. As we come now to you, Sophia.
Everyone advances forward, but it seems like Atreus just rounds the corner and just stops dead in his tracks. Not really sure what's
Not
going
doing
on.
anything.
Yeah, as well, I'm not gonna just stand back here as I just poke my head out around the corner to take a look as I start to conjure up some. What do I see?
Give me a wisdom save. As you see this horrifying creature, and
I'll
that
use
is
an
scary.
inspiration. I'll use an inspiration.
Calling upon your stoic, unemotional self, can you push past this supernatural fear?
Barely!
Just barely! With an 11! Utilizing your mythic inspiration to keep yourself calm and steady against this strange creature.
Seeing the visage of this creature, things start to sort of ramble through her mind of what this thing might be as the fear starts to overcome her, but she just blocks it out with just the thoughts of what is the thing she needs to do to stop this creature. But as she does, it's only really one thing she can do to aid, as she's going to raise up a hand as a small stream of magic is going to strike out at not actually her, but this strange elemental that seems like Theamos has his attention on. Seems like the party is striking out first, and seeing if she can freeze away a bit of this and break it apart to free what she can only assume is the voice of the oracle that she's been hearing coming down this hallway. It's Ray of Frost going for the elemental.
All right.
Oof.
Ooh, with a 10, and this thing still ducking and diving out of the way, seeing this cold energy sort of streaking towards it. You can see this thing like its mouth sort of just rearing up, threatening towards Theamos. And as you call upon this magic, you can see its attention sort of shift to you for a moment. And as the magic streaks towards it, you can see what you would best interpret maybe as fear or surprise, as this thing ducks into the water as quick as it possibly can to get away from that cold magic. But it does so quite quickly and is able to dodge out of your spell.
Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to like demon inspiration that, so I'm just gonna duck back around the corner. Seems they are in a predicament. I think we're trying to strike down the living water. Do not look at the hag within. That's my turn.
Really?
As Diana desperately clings to life. Ooh. But the fates towards her end tick upwards with a 2 on her death save. 1 to 1. Put a little tracker. 1 failed. 1 passed. As we come now to you, Mercury.
Right, well, I'm gonna go around this bend here, and I can see this creature now.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna...
Yeah, you're good.
Yep. I'm just gonna grab my wing, I'm gonna pluck a feather out of my wings, and I'm just gonna flick it as it just turns, just this chilling ice, as it just flies out, as it sinks into this water, trying to get a little bit of freeze.
Yeah, you can see, like, in Theamos, you can almost feel the water near you sort of begin to sort of heat up, trying to keep itself warm and resist this frostbite sent towards it. As, let's see. Oh, Jesus. As it is going to try to hang on here. Ooh, with a 4 to its con save. It is not going to. Your magic managing to grab a hold of it, and you can feel and see feel Theamos. You can feel the water shift quite rapidly, and you can see this thing sort of freak out as a portion of it just begins to freeze over. And as it freezes, rapidly cooling, you can see the hot water around it conflict with it, bursting with steam and exploding off of it as it takes more damage than your magic should have normally inflicted. Yes, but it still only takes 2, because you rolled a 1.
Woo!
As this thing seems to be quite afraid and vulnerable to that which would freeze it.
That's gonna be my turn.
Alright.
Just remember it has disadvantage on any weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
On any weapon attack rolls?
That's what the sheet says. So it's probably fine because it doesn't have any weapons.
It counts for unarmed strikes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, unarmed strikes are weapon attacks. Natural weapons are weapon attack. They're not. They're just not attacks with a melee weapon.
Yeah, fucking natural language. Just the way we should make the game. It's fine. Nyx, we come to you.
Well, first I'm going to use my spiritual weapon as a bonus action to attack the elemental. Do I need a seer, or can I just tell my spear to attack it?
I am fairly certain you can just tell the spear to attack it.
Yes, spear. Go whack it. With an 8.
Technically still at disadvantage, but an 8 will miss by itself, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think I need to go lower than that. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to then, I'm going to cast a Bane on that horrible creature and the water that's holding on to Versi.
All right. Let's see if it sticks, shall we? So it'd be a charisma save, right?
Yes, charisma saving throw. DC 14. Ah, goddamn.
As both of them easily able, you can see the coraled hands of this thing sort of swipe away at whatever magic it is that's trying to reduce its attack's effectiveness and just try to overpower it, make it weaker as this thing continues to cackle. Unconcerned with your magic, and this large watery elemental seeps back into the stream around it, healing up a bit of its wound by taking in some more water, but not actually healing.
I'm gonna look over. I don't have the energy to get much closer, but there is somebody dying up there. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna say. End of my turn.
All right. Come to you now, Impheria.
Alright. Iris is going to go first again. And
You've what are you using for your microphone? Can you bring it a little bit closer to your face?
yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool beans. I think it was just turned away. Iris is gonna go first again. And
All right.
he is going to screech at this hag. Whatever. So DC 12 con save for the hag.
Got you as Ivis flies forward, letting forth this piercing screech. As with a 19, see this thing as it returns the screech back at it, unconcerned with whatever this thing is, as it continues to laugh and begins to bring up its hands, trying to take Theomus's head off.
Impheria is going to hear Ivis screeching and come back to this point and, disregarding Sophia's warning not to go around the corner, is going to come up back onto the ledge right around the corner here. Behind Atreus.
Indeed, as you come around the corner and you can see quite clearly this horrifying looking creature, I need a wisdom save from you, my friend. Ooh, with a 9, you can feel just this supernatural presence, this strange alien, awful looking thing.
Going to use my mythic inspiration.
All right, trying to push past it.
So I was reading it, I don't know if I understood correctly, but since I have 3 points, I can just like decide to succeed on it, right?
Yeah, you can go ahead and grab all 3 of those inspiration points and just decide to resist it, utilizing the legendary resistance, and just succeed if you want. Yep. Ignoring that fail result, or you can spend 1 point and re-roll it.
2 points. The legendary resistance is only 2 points.
And there you go.
Okay, then I'm gonna do that.
Using 2 of your points to just push yourself past this thing. You need to succeed. You need to be a hero. Nicely done.
Yes. And then I am going to battle cry. Just like that. And throw my wait, so considering where'd it go? Battle cry. Sorry, I had to put that out there. And then I'm gonna throw my chakram at the hag, even though I have
Advantage on the other. I got you.
Hunter's mark on the other one. Yeah, I'm still gonna throw it at the hag.
All right. As a 20, thanks to Mercury's bless, will definitely connect as this thing is laughing, and your chakram comes soaring in, cutting into it. Let me get that damage.
Spicy damage.
Ooh, 8 slashing damage.
Nice.
As you can see, this thing's attention now turned down towards the rest of you. You're going to regret that!
Am I really, though?
Is that it for you?
Yeah, wait, how tall is this creature?
It's a little hard to tell. It looks like it's kind of like big and gangly. And it looks like it's maybe about 5.5 feet tall, but it also looks like it's like horrifically bent over and hunched. So it's hard to tell because it's not really standing all the way up with its back straight. It's just like croned over.
So does it look like Iris could fly over it without getting nabbed?
Like you mean fly over it without provoking an attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
Looking at its arms and kind of just guesstimating, it does look like there's only enough space to sort of just pass over within 5 feet of it. So it would provoke an attack of opportunity. But it could do it. It could fit.
It could fit, but it would provoke attack of opportunity. So we're good then. We are done.
All right.
Actually, no, wait. Iris is gonna do that anyways.
All right.
That's the best. That's the best feeling. It's like, sure, we're just gonna do it.
Wait, where's there she is. How many feet is that? Perfect. So Iris is gonna come over here to the commoner.
All right, pushing in past the sea hag. It's just gonna lash up at it with its horrifying claws. I need Iris to try to evade out of the way. Defense roll, DC 17.
Ouch.
Oh, Ivis, you fucked.
As this creature rips at it, coral tearing through the metal for 10 damage, parts scattering to the ground. But Ivis is able to continue on flapping and fluttering its way into the room.
10 damage, you said, right?
10 damage, yep.
And Ivis is going to land on the commoner and stabilize her.
Hey, nicely done, utilizing...
Using that potion.
No, it can just stabilize as a...
Yeah.
It's already used his action now.
He's not going to use the
that's right,
potion without being told to use the potion, but he will stabilize her.
Yeah, utilizing its bonus action to stabilize Diana. As it closes up her horrifying wound. Almost decapitated her. As, let's see here. As we come now to the water weird. This thing moving in the water. You can see the tendrils holding onto Versi, and two of them let go, putting Versi behind it now, hanging on to her only by her arm, sort of suspended in this almost crucifixion-like pose, dangled behind her as two more of these tendrils come up towards you, Theamos, now, and try to lash out at you. I need a defense roll, DC 17.
You have advantage on it, though.
Still 16. So I will re-roll that.
Utilizing your inspiration, moving yourself out of the way faster. You cannot afford to fall here, as you are able to duck out of the way from his strike with a 20. Nicely done. This thing just sort of rolls in your face, water and gurgling steam coming out at you. As you can see, it seems to be readying itself for another strike at you, but unable to move quick enough. Theamos, it comes to you. As I need a wisdom saving throw, as this thing that ripped at your shoulder and neck before looks down at you, cackling, eerie glow coming from its eyes.
Let's just re-roll that one too. There we go. Yeah.
Doing everything you can to not feel the fear of this thing pushing down on you. You can feel like it almost looks taller, it looks stronger. What are you doing here? This thing's gonna kill you. as you are frightened.
I really wanted to attack this turn, but feeling emotions that he doesn't really feel often, he realizes that I am echoing. Who am I cutting off?
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, you're
Sound
fine.
fun to me.
Alright. Realizing that he's feeling emotions that he doesn't feel often enough, I will press my hand into my chest and cast heroism on myself.
Hey, nice. Digging in deep, calling on a bit of magic and your own will, and channeling that into yourself to push this fear out of you. You can see her presence turns back to normal. Her limbs just seem their gross, gangly selves, but not all imposing, not horrifying any longer. Just a foul creature that will fall to your blade.
So where's it?
Do lose your
Right.
shield.
Indeed, make sure to modify your AC accordingly. Save. I'll take your head in a moment, boy. But you, you seem to be quivering behind that big shield of yours. What, are you scared? As this thing's horrifying appearance, this magical, supernatural presence seems to emanate from it and push past into your vision, Atreus. This thing just seems to be... You can feel yourself losing consciousness. As I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw as against this thing's death glare as it's bearing all of its presence down upon you.
Oh no.
DC 11.
Not the death glare.
Can't be that bad. It's just called death glare.
Yeah, oh no.
It's
what?
the mom look.
Oh no, not the death glare, really? Okay, now we'll use the inspiration.
Well, it's a wisdom save, so you actually rolled worse.
Oh. Oh wait, oh yeah, it's con, right? 5, 18.
Just let it roll 4 times. It's fine.
How much inspiration did you have?
2.
All right, I'm gonna take both of your inspirations for that reroll from the 5 to the 18. Fair enough.
What was that? Wait.
I said I'm going to take both of your
Some leeway for
inspiration.
cheating.
Yeah, I'm gonna take both of your inspiration because you threw the d20 like 4 times. In all technicality.
I mean, no, I had 2 inspiration at the start. I don't have any anymore. Which is why I used it the first time and now I'm using it again. But yeah, I know.
Okay. As you can feel yourself losing your strength and digging in deep to push past it with your missing inspiration, as you are at 0 of those. Braver than you look. Well, that's fine. As this thing just seems to step towards you now. Let us get intimate, boy.
Cease.
You lash
Now
up
she's
at
getting
it.
into trouble.
That is able to connect, getting past her defenses. She seems to be almost ignoring you, leaving you to the strange watery creature, trying to get past this this soldier that's coming to try to stop her, as that will connect for 9 damage. Well, I said wait your turn, boy! As it seems to just reach back, coral encapsulating its arm and claws as it lashes out over trying to get past your shield, Atreus. As I need a defense roll, DC 17.
Wait.
Oh,
-3. But yeah.
As it pierces past your defense roll of 11, cutting you open
This
and
is-
spilling your blood.
Ugh.
A grazing wound
There's just grimaces.
of 8 slashing damage. 4 modifiers.
That would be 6.
Indeed. Still able to take advantage of your heavy armor, move yourself out of the way. As now it comes to your turn. Give me another.
Is that the start?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
You can just like bring up your shield and avert your eyes from it if you want, but you will of course be attacking at disadvantage.
Disadvantage anyways!
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Wow, thanks game. So I do get a saving throw at the start of my turn.
No, because you're still frightened from the initial save. Anyway, you just saved against the death glare, which is not in the frightened. So you're still currently frightened from the original save, but you will get a save at the end of your turn.
Okay, so it is at the end of the turn.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, that's quite generous for me to make the saving throw at the beginning, because now I have a chance to not have to attack at disadvantage.
Nope.
Oh, can't suffer from double disadvantage. Well, it doesn't matter anyways, because even if the creature isn't in my sight anymore, I'm still working with disadvantage. So Trace, formally, this creature was nice enough to close the gap. Trace will sort of lift his shield up to avert his eyes from her eyes and his from hers, as she will attempt to stab out at the thing, the creature.
The hag.
What's a hag? 12?
As your spear goes over, you don't feel any purchase, no connection with her. Why are you cowering behind your shield, boy? Don't you want to look at my face?
I've seen Cyclopses uglier than you.
You can feel once again like the claws sort of scraping up against your shield. Don't hide, I'm coming for you. What else do you want to do?
That's all I got.
All right.
I'm afraid that my lust will overwhelm me.
I don't like that.
As we come now to you, Sophia.
Yeah, seeing that, or hearing this creature approaching from the other side of the rock in front of Atreus and striking out at him, I'm going to take a half step back, keeping the water elemental in my sights, reaching up my hand, and then once again, this beam of cold energy striking forward, trying to freeze and break away this strange water creature.
All right, conjuring a bit of magic. Trying to strike 2. This thing not focus on its defenses any longer. A 19 will solidly connect with it.
Hey!
For 7 cold damage. Once again, you can see the tendrils whipping up to lash out at Theamos, and then again, as it catches all the cold right into what you can only guess would be its face, and you can see it freezing up solid before shattering again in conflict with the hot water that comprises it. As it seems to whip back and forth, headless, steam emanating from all around it, before its head begins to reconfigure, and you can feel Theamos, the water from around you, sort of sink a little bit as it pulls more of it up into it, as it takes a lot of damage from that. 14, to be exact. As you can see the bubbles and steam emanating from its mouth as it looks down at you in fury.
I feel that I pushed away the strange, supernatural glare of this creature as I looked upon it, but I have the need to experiment. As with my magic struck this creature, I take a moment, move myself around the corner, and gaze at the hag standing and attacking Atreus, and see how her visage looks to me now.
crazed and horrifying, but something that you can tolerate. Bring yourself level against.
If you fight off her looks once, you'll be bastioned against it. Hold yourself, Atreus.
Oh yeah, don't they get the saving throw?
Yes.
Thanks
go
for
ahead and give
reminding
it.
me.
In your turn.
Yeah. Into your turn.
With Sophia's
Wisdom
words! No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's
It doesn't fucking help at all!
That's useless. I hate you, Sophia.
Yeah.
Just back around the corner once again, keeping this water elemental in my sights as I start to conjure up with some more magic to strike it again. But that is my turn.
All right.
Experiment successful.
Indeed. Forming a hypothesis and testing it rigorously. You have a theory now. As, let's see, we come now to Diana. Wound closed with, how would you imagine Ivis stabilizing someone? This woman's throat cut open by this wicked knife, blood everywhere. What do you picture for your magical contraption?
I picture that Ivis. You know that scene in Harry Potter where Fox cries on Harry?
Yeah! Phoenix tears, baby.
I 100% see Ivis like landing on her chest and tilting his head and just crying on her wound and chirping softly, encouragingly.
Indeed. A bit of a magical salve pouring from this creature's eyes onto this wound, and slowly but surely, not fast enough to truly heal, but to keep someone from dying, at least. Give them time to be saved. Nice. As Diana is just going to sort of shrink away and slink, you can hear like the clatter of coins and wealth as she sort of backs herself up and away, grabbing at her throat and trying to make sure she's not dying any longer, as she is not. Mercury.
I can still see this creature, right?
From right there.
I can see him.
Let me see. I'm checking your vision. I would say I know what you're planning on using, but I would say just for reference, based on the vision, I would say that he would be gaining the benefit of partial cover. But perhaps that is not going to matter with your magic at your beck and call. But you can see him, yes.
Indeed, as once again the wings just seen. There's probably still some ice chunks, maybe from when it exploded. As just the gusts of my wind will seem to just kind of pick up those chunks of ice and spin them and launch them right back into this visage as I will cast Frostbite again.
Ooh, as that will come into effect, perhaps? Let's see. Did you like close your whole roll 20?
Oh,
Nicely
right.
done.
Yep.
Oh,
Doodles.
So proud of you. And this thing reeling back from the blow from Sophia and feeling this cold magic beginning to crawl up it again, just seems to submerge as much of itself as it can back into the warm, flowing waters of this grotto, able to just barely push off your magic. As you can hear, like, this... Oh.
I'll do this anyway. I don't care. As I see this thing just kind of trying to sneak away, as two of my feathers will just kind of shift to an even darker blue as crystals will fly off of it, as I will quicken spell another frostbite on it.
Ooh.
ooh.
All right, as it submerges down, believing it's the heat of the grotto is able to push itself off, thinking it's safe, not suspecting that another burst of magic is coming after it. Ooh, but it is able to resist it, unfortunately. The warm waters of this place inuring it to your bursts of cold.
That's my turn.
All right. As we come now to you, Nyx.
Do I have to make a save in front of the thing?
Yes, now that you can properly see it. So give me a wisdom saving throw. Ooh, just barely
Do I need to
able.
use my Okay.
Now
I got
DC
it.
11, as you can see the shadow behind it lengthen, the body that it is like stretching and contorting, becoming more and more horrifying as you are able to force yourself to push past its supernatural presence, perhaps calling upon the wisdom and words of Valis in this time of need. What do you do?
I'm going to wave my hand around and with my free hand do a gesture as if I'm throwing a spear so that my spiritual weapon actually launches at this creature with an 11.
Yeah, moving down and flying towards this strange, horrifying creature. You can see it sort of look at you now as you're like shaking off its magic, and you can see its glowing eye zip over to the left as it sees your spear just in time and sort of contorts itself down lower to the ground, almost into like a crab walk as the spear clinks against the ground, against the wall behind it. You're going to have to be quicker than that, dear. I bet you taste delicious. You can see its tongue whip.
A star shoots down from behind him. Or her, rather.
All right, give me...
DC 14?
DC 14. As, let's see. Let me switch it to public.
Oh!
Oh, a bit quicker, but not quick enough.
We will strike you down one way or another. That was my turn.
Try all you want, dearie. As we come now to you, Inferior.
Alrighty. Ibis is going to fly back around corner and pinion storm the hag, raining iron on this horrible creature.
As the pinions strike into the stone, this thing easily able to get itself up and out of the way away from Ivis's pinions. Perhaps a bit of the damage making a little bit too much noise as Ivis comes up behind her. Beset on all sides, but Sidon is with me.
Fun. And then Inferior is going to take a step back and realizing that in order to fully focus on this hag, she has to take care of the water thing first. She is going to throw both of her chakram at the creature with her Hunter's Mark advantage. Hunter's Mark battle cry combination advantage.
Nicely done.
Whoops,
Both of your chakrams go spinning out with advantage, and with a 26 on the first and a 15 on the second, both of them will connect. You can see this thing rising back up out of the water, getting ready to maybe bite down on Theamos or engulf him as your chakrams tear into him for 19 damage. As oh boy, oh boy! How do you want to do this?
Yes! Fiercely, finished with this creature. Inferior takes a step back and then just swinging both chakrams out quickly and violently so that they arc around Atreus and between him and the hag and just towards the water creature and just completely slice it in half. One after the other.
You can see the water still holding itself together, split down into the flowing stream as the two pieces of it bubble and steam and just begin drip, 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 as the whole thing falls apart, collapsing away into the water. Gone. You can hear Versi splash into the water behind where it was, as this thing is dead and gone. Yes.
Brilliant.
Girl, I will take you to meet him as well. Come here! Come here! As this horrifying creature now seems enraged and furious at you, as it seems to be scrapping and scratching at Atreus, trying to move him out of the way, trying to get to you now, Inferior.
I'm gonna, take a step this way with what remains of my movement.
Don't you run from me, girl! Don't you run! As we come to you, Theamos, this watery creature splits in half and collapsed away. Versi looking, as best you can tell, safe, flowing in the water. What do you do?
So like she's above the water, she's not like face down in the water drowning.
Yeah, and it's immediately apparent from looking at her that she's a water nymph, so she can't drown. She'll be alright.
Cool.
Alright, cool. So Theamos will turn around and get behind this creature and attempt to stab her in the back.
Clawing at Atreus, trying to get out of the way, not really paying attention to you, but maybe the sound of you stepping onto the stone. Nope, it's too late as your sword pierces in for 7 damage. You can feel and hear bones crack and contort as this thing seems to almost crack its neck to look back at you. Oh, pretty boy!
Yikes.
I don't know if I can do this, but as my blade is inside her back, it will begin to glow. As I don't know if I can do this, I will try to use a point of inspiration to Divine Smite. Because it
Utilizing,
uses a spell slot, but it...
Utilizing one of
spell.
your inspirations to... I believe that should allow you to cast a spell, not to replace a spell slot in the need of a smite. And remember, you gotta use your bonus action to charge those smites ahead of time, too.
Alright, so I'll just use a Channel Divinity to get back a spell slot. As that's...
Alright.
It says that you can cast without a spell slot.
Yeah,
if you
but...
use a point equal to the spell slot.
He's not actually trying to cast
spells.
anything, though. He's just trying to smite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in his case, smiting is like a feature resource,
Yeah.
not a spell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Move! Get off me! Come here, girl! Come here! This thing is now just furious, trying to get past Atreus as his long coraled claw now wrapped both in chloral. You can see just this foul-looking blue-green ichor dripping from it now, trying to rip past you, Atreus. I need a defense roll. DC 17.
DC 17. Jesus Christ.
Oof.
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 Indeed, able to get past your shield and rip into you. Ooh, Jesus! For 14 slashing damage, tearing into you.
That's fine. I'm still up.
I said move, boy! As you can see her just pull up a bit of what looks like magic, not really casting a spell, just calling on whatever this supernatural creature is. You can see her muscles begin to like bulge and contort as she just tries to force you out of the way. She is going to try to push you with her second attack.
Little shove action.
Little shovey shove with a 21, trying to push you into the water.
Hag.
Yeah.
All hags are strong.
Oof.
Good. You know your place. Stay there. This thing just seems to bound quickly. cut up from the back by Theamos for another 12
Yeah,
damage.
you uglier than a walrus that's been dead on a beach for 4 weeks.
I'll rip your wings out, you insolent insect! As it moves up to you, Inferior, rage and fury in its eyes, magic coursing along its strange coiled claws, looking to rip your head from your body. But perhaps Atreus can intercede once more.
That would be nice.
Do I have my reaction? Oh wait. Okay, I guess I
She
do.
didn't. She didn't actually move out of any of your
Oh, she
spaces,
didn't.
though. No, she's
Oh,
like
it's
just
my
sort of.
turn.
I think he has to be
No,
in
it's my
range of the ally, though.
Yeah. But
Plus,
anyways, it's
no
my turn.
attack actually made against her. Yeah.
I was like, As... Oh. Get speared. Or don't.
Ooh.
Still can't see. Blindly stabbing.
Yeah, just
Ooh.
keeping your shield up, trying not to look at this thing, going off of sound alone. This thing's making plenty of noise, scrapping and scraping on the ground, but 13, it's just able to hop out of the way just in time, as it seems to be trying to pounce down on Inferior now, as a 13 will not connect. Be sure to give me another wisdom save, see if you can push past this thing's supernatural presence.
$15.
15. Is what does Atreus do to find his center?
I guess he just takes a deep, calming breath. No, he doesn't really have a second wind because he used it earlier. So, just sort of drawing upon that same power, the same inspiration he has from his second wind, and then just stealing his nerves.
All
Letting
right.
that calmness wash over him.
Indeed.
Knowing that, it's not that bad. Probably.
Finally able to shake it off. Now we come to Sophia. You can see this creature now up close and personal to you, not afraid or not worried about you in the slightest. All of its fury focused on Inferior. What do you do?
I killed its pet.
She starts charging around the corner. As I get face to face with her, I just take a step forward in front of Inferior. Your pettiness is over. Everything has its place, but your ugliness, it should not exist. As I just reach up my hand, you can see tattoo on her forehead start to glow. Her left arm starts to glow with the tattoos up her arms. As much like when she does the ritual of sort of recoalescing her magic and calling upon more by drawing the latent magic out of her body. It sort of glows in her left hand, surges up her right hand as she reaches out and just puts her right hand right on this hag's forehead as mist just explodes in her face. As I'm going to use 2 inspiration points to cast a second level spell with a little sleeping drop. Do you have more than 33 health?
What is it you're saying? As she collapses down to the ground dramatically, you can see the coral on her head shrinking away as she just goes fully unconscious.
That is enough out of you. Cut it down now, if you wish. To remain like that for a minute or so. So I just step back away from her. Get away from her ugliness. That's me.
Alright. Diana is stable, still cowering away. Mercury, you see this creature full of fury and anger, then just a burst of this gray mist from Sophia, and you see her sway and hit the ground, unmoving, but you can see just the rise and fall of her haggard breathing as she appears to be just unconscious, not dead.
Prone?
Yes. Unless,
Well, where my butt?
Yeah,
Where
she
my
falls
butt?
unconscious.
yeah.
Well, I say we all just mosey on around her. On the count of 7, we just open all hell on her. As I'm gonna hold my action for everyone else to
Oh
get
my
around
God.
her and attack all at once.
I feel like she's just gonna
This is
die.
like 5 levels too early for this bullshit.
I told you sleeping drought was good. You didn't believe me.
I believed
probably
you.
just gonna die.
So I'm gonna hold my
Indeed.
action to get more people in range so that we can all attack at once.
All right. With nothing else preparing to accost you, nothing else changing the situation, as you all are able to easily gather yourselves around this sleeping foul creature and put a finishing end to her without any problem or qualm. Because I assume none of you were going to use any spell slots to do so?
No, I just have a spear.
Nope.
A floating spear.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did 12. She probably didn't get hit by me.
If they were
I'm using my.
unconscious, they just
I'm
hit.
transferring my.
One of the melee people are going to kill her.
It's a crit for melee, dudes.
Oh.
If
no.
anybody can hit her.
Next
I'm
miss.
transferring my hunter's mark to her and switching to a go base.
Ah,
All right.
There you
I
go.
will
Let's
say
see
that.
if you're,
I will say because Atreus is the last person, they're probably all going on Atreus's queue. So
Well, Inferior would have hit.
Yep.
Crit
And
damage.
that'd be a crit, so roll the damage again for me. That's what we're only like 2 short, so. Okay, and then you also rolled an actual
Peter
crit.
just crits anyways.
Yeah, Peter just crits anyways.
no,
I
said
think he changed it. He
crit
changed
range
it.
to 1
Yeah.
because that's easier. 10 damage.
Okay, yeah.
Easy
So
peasy.
looking at the quick maths, you guys are easily able to do it. You got enough hits. It'd be really unlikely for you all to miss, but she did have enough health that I had to make sure.
35.
You all gather around and blap this foul creature back to whatever foul place she crawled out of.
Good riddance.
Hell,
Nicely
Sophia, that was a
done.
hell of a thing you right did there. You just knocked
Thank
her
you,
right out.
Sophia. That certainly saved my life, I do believe. Quite
Do not mention it.
angered.
Hey, then there, Oracle, you all right back there?
Oracle, you
I'm fine.
okay?
I'm fine. As you see her just like swim out and pull herself onto the ground. Diana! Diana!
Ivis has helped her.
I'm okay. Versi, I'm fine.
Good thing.
Strange metal thing saved my life.
How is Versi interacting with Diana?
You
Is she
can
just
see
standing
her-
over her?
No, she fucking slides down on her knees and just sort of like cradles her, hand behind the neck, holding on to her, making sure she's okay. You can see just a host of concern and worry on her face. Oh, thank the 5, you are all right. Truly tragic, all of this. Thank you, heroes, for getting here when you did. I am sure
Is
I
that
was
a creature a Sidon?
not a creature foul, fame magic twisted. But working for my father, I am sure of it, yes.
There were
Well-
cultists up above. They were attacking your. Their. What would be the proper term for it? Because the only term I can think of is
Attendants.
servant, but attendant.
Priest.
There you go.
Attendants, priests, yeah.
Yeah. Your attendants. We took care of them as well, but seems they only had one target truly in mind.
Indeed, it seems that way. I was sure I was not going to be here much longer. Is Kyra with you?
Yes.
Yes, she's
Kyra,
behind us.
Further
yeah,
behind,
yeah.
away from the danger.
I'm
don't
trying
step
to.
on that thing in the water.
It's really gross.
Yep.
Versi, are you okay? I'm fine, Kyra. I'm fine. Thank you all so much. Can you all help Diana back upstairs to Proteus? Just give me a few moments to speak with Kyra alone. I would appreciate it immensely.
I see.
I know you.
Do you need help walking?
Referring to Diana.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see her sort of get herself up to her feet. She sort of stumbles for a moment. Yeah, an arm or two would be really helpful.
Yeah, I'll help her walk upstairs, and as she wraps her arm around me, I will give her 5 hit points from my lay on hands.
Oh, bless you. You are a healer. Oh, thank you. I can feel my strength. Oh. As she seems to bring herself standing up a lot more firmly, the color returning to her face. She doesn't look like she's on death's door any longer. Looks a lot better, but she sort of stumbles to the shock of it all, seeming to still be a bit much for her, as she gladly takes your help out. I know you all eager. I just need a few minutes.
That's understandable.
You can see Versi sort of looking down at the blood of Diana spilled all throughout this place as Sea Hag split open her neck, and it was quite messy.
Come, my friends, let us leave the Oracle and Kyra to their talk. Forgot her name.
Indeed.
Right.
Well,
We'll be upstairs, I guess. You just take your time or whatnot. Sophia, you find out anything over here?
I'll let you know in a moment. God.
Okay, I missed your bit there. My bad. Yeah. So searching through the body, you do find 2 things. One, you find a very, very nice looking black pearl.
Ooh.
You wager base assessment, probably worth about 200 gold.
Ooh.
Quite nice.
Wait,
Quite
what?
rare.
200 what?
Sorry, drachma?
Yeah,
Drachma.
gold?
Rockman?
What is this foreign currency, sir?
You're
I don't
right.
understand.
200
What?
drachma. As
Got him!
as John, go ahead and get yourself a point of inspiration. Catching me
Get him,
there,
John.
catching me slipping.
Uh-huh.
There's so many things I'm excited about. I'm sorry. And you also find a little note. On it, you see written quite plainly, Helica, I bid you now make good upon the oath of service that once you swore to me. You know the secret ways through the Forgotten Sea, to the cave where my daughter dwells. Find her, and bring her to Praxis unharmed, and I will release you from your oath. Sidon, Lord of all. Give me one moment.
Handout.
Shit. I was typing
Wait, a
out.
handout?
Yeah, bring
I got
it
you,
away.
baby. I got you.
away.
Boom!
Yep, boom. Oh, there it is. What a shitty
I
signature
can't
for
copy
a
and
god.
paste that.
No, you can't. Enjoy transcribing.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
I just copied the
no,
image and
ridiculous.
just pasted it into Google Doc.
Yeah, just do
Probably.
that.
There we go.
Snip it.
Pasted.
Now you can actually hang on to the handout. It's even more flavorful. It's better notes that way.
Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah, that's cool.
No. Some pseudonyms there. And it looks like
As we suspected.
large
Unharmed.
blackened pearl. Everything else is just refuse from the sea, it seems.
Yeah, shells and seaweed coat her. Nothing of any value, all of it putrid and gross.
At all. I'll hand the note off to Mercury since he's asked me, so we can take a look at it. But I hold up the pearl to him, but then just stick it in my
Right.
So I'll hop over. Try to hop over. I'm gonna fucking take a step back because I gotta get a running start to make over this 5-foot jump and I'll hop over the water. As I'm also gonna go over to where the water elemental was and try to find any pieces that are still frozen, if there are any remaining.
Looking around, it is hard to see. This whole area is full of really, really hot water. But go ahead and give me an investigation check. I will say, for logical reasons, you're gonna need probably a nat 20.
Jesus.
We'll get a nat 20. Do it. Be the best.
While he's
Looking
Sophia's doing
around,
that,
everything seems to have thawed or float away rather.
Okay.
Sorry.
Should have done that first.
Nyx is going to investigate these magical carpets, whatever one is not totally burnt up.
This one's toasty. This one's not as toasty.
Yeah.
Those.
I just want to get a look at their fibers. I don't know if that's something that like Nyx may have heard about before, but it's a magical carpet, and that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Give me an investigation check and let me know what it is. Are you trying to just like analyze the carpet or take a look at like the magic about it?
Mostly the magic. Yeah.
All right. You can go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Ah. A 13.
Sort of calling. Thankfully, you are a spellcaster, so sort of calling on a bit of your own, well, channeling of blessings. It does follow a lot of the same rules, oddly enough. Looking at this, it is hard to discern what exactly these things are. You have not experienced these animated objects before, but you would wager it must have some connection to changing things, changing the properties of things, and perhaps maybe even bringing things into existence. You're not entirely sure. Perhaps a connection to transmutation, perhaps a connection to conjuration. The actual enchantment, you do not know.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Next, are you or right? You still seem hurt.
As long as there's nothing else standing in our way, I should be fine.
Well, I can still kill you. I have a little bit of magic left.
Huh. Well then, as I hop on over, then if you don't mind.
Now, what's the magic word?
Please, Theamos.
As you all begin to depart, you can hear a hard sob echoing up through the grotto. Someone seems to be overwhelmed with sadness, shedding tears for the events that have transpired here.
Come, let's make haste. To the other attendants.
Indeed. Like, don't stop breaking out of reality.
No. I have to carry a torch with me for the immersion.
Yeah, go ahead and position yourselves just in the spawn square where you would be, where you would return.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Yeah,
We're
I got
just
you
waiting
guys.
in there for that turn order because we're still in initiative.
Yeah, I need to clear it. My bad. Yeah.
Well, we're all dead.
Bring you all over to the little theater of the mind during the day area. As you all depart, you hear hard sobbing and step back up out of the grotto up to the upper layer. And you can see soon the surviving attendants collect and attend to the bodies around and about upstairs. You can see them as you move throughout this place, piled in different spaces and sorted about. Medical attention being given and wine passed out to the survivors. As you can see, in short order, Proteus come back to you all, hearing your footsteps coming up. Is the Oracle all right? Were you able to stop that
fine.
creature?
Safe
We
and
did.
sound.
Good. Good.
There's one who needs your aid, however, Diana?
Yes.
The Oracle bid us bring her to you.
Let's see if this works.
Atreus will take the potion.
Boop.
Okay.
Down upon. I like down upon you.
As Diana sort of stumbles forward. Oh, I am glad you are all right, Diana. Come, rest with the others over here. As Proteus leads her away. As you can see the attendants going about cleaning this area up and the like, as you guys would have enough time for a 15-minute short rest if you all want to do anything or talk about anything before we move to the next scene.
So I'm just gonna be like, well, pardon me, right, excuse me, pardon me, right, gotta get out of this hallway, yep, pardon me, yep, excuse me. Don't do well in closed spaces, yep.
Everybody's conversing.
Hell out
I'm just
here.
gonna pop a squat next to this pool as everybody seems to be tending to their wounds, as pretty much like I just did a second ago, but this time with more peaceful rest, I can actually call upon the reserves of my magic and draw in the gray from one side and bring it to the other, as I'm gonna regain some spell slots.
Now I'm gonna sit down and take a short rest as well.
Just in case I get
so will
pushed.
I.
Can't do that yet.
Can't do that yet?
Well, I'm just looking at my stuff, what I can and can't do.
Why does it say D? Oh my god, did my character sheet break again?
Possibly.
Thought I set you to D10.
You're just rolling the D and only getting one of the D.
I think
Only
that's
the
all
single D.
you need.
Oof.
Yeah, it went back down to it 1D plus 3.
Alright, one time
Is the
before
temperature
I roll
better
one.
now?
Yeah, as you all enjoy the benefits of this short rest, finally able to sort of come to a rest, no longer fighting for your lives and for the lives of others, you're finally able to acclimate to at least the interior of this place. It's warm, it's humid, but it is no longer uncomfortable.
So it's
okay.
noticeable?
Or noticeable.
Yes, thank you. It is noticeable.
No, it was fine. It was noticeable downstairs because Jordan said it was noticeably warm. He used the exact
you go.
word, so I moved it from
I
uncomfortable to
actually-
noticeable.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much everybody's at hit points, so there's not really a point in casting Goodberry, is there?
Nah. You could do it for flavor.
For literally the
What?
flavor of your good berry.
Yeah, for
Flavor of
literally
the
just the
berry.
purpose. Yeah, for the
Oh,
purpose
and
of
for the
Imperial
ration,
giving
that's
us
why. I
berries.
was like, there's a reason why I do this. I'm gonna give everybody a good berry.
For rations.
What?
There it is.
So, what is this inferior?
This is a berry of the contains nutrients and healing, which is something that as a dryad I can bring to me wherever I am.
You'd be a fool to refuse a dryad's fruit.
So as I'm looking at this fruit and or berry, what does this fruit and or berry look like?
It looks kind of like, have you ever seen a blue raspberry?
Yeah.
It's like a raspberry, but it's like a darker blue, and it's more. It's not like an avocado. It's much smaller than that.
Like a watermelon. I just
It's
summon a
This
pit of
big,
watermelons.
huge fruit.
Like, is it like
you just
is
give
it
us
like a
pomegranate.
blackberry,
No.
but like lighter
It's like-
blue, or like?
It's like this. It's like the size of a raspberry, but denser, a lot denser, and kind of a bluish blackish color. And it tastes sweet. It tastes like a It tastes kind of like a raspberry, but not quite as sweet as a raspberry.
Is this gonna make my tongue all blue and whatnot?
No, don't be ridiculous.
Could it though? That'd be cool.
Pop it in my mouth.
I'm gonna pop it right in there too.
Thank you, Inferior.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna cut it in half with my sword and eat half of it and feed the other half to Darius.
Oh,
There's enough for Darius to have his own.
It's enough for Darius to have like 4.
It produces 10 berries.
I mean, if you don't protect
Is
it,
that-
he'll eat it all.
Nyx is gonna sit next to Inferior. And what about you? Are you alright? From yesterday.
Oh, well, I will recover. It's good for me today to be useful in this battle. It'll take a long time for me to be okay with, or confident again.
That's understandable.
I hope that the Oracle can aid.
Me too.
And you? How are you today?
Just awaiting to finally ask a question. A few questions that I've needed answers for a very long time. And as she says that, Inferior, you can see Nyx look down at her one-sleeved arm. Not really doing anything with it, just looking down upon it.
I see. Nymph bonding moments.
As the others finish their rest, can you accompany for just a moment?
I heard, can you accompany?
Me for just a moment.
Sure. For what?
Thank you. I left my things outside. I have enough magic to protect myself, but I don't want the steam to be angry once again and me be left by my lonesome.
You could just say you want to spend time with me. You know, it's fine. It's a normal thing for women.
He gets up, starts walking away. That is exactly not what I'm asking for, but
Wait a minute.
whatever you want to.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Alright. Y'all be safe down there.
Very well.
We walk outside and I jump his bones! No. I just go get my back on my shit.
That would have escalated really quickly.
Which will head back down out of the tunnel into this space. Soldier's body is gone, blood still staining a bit of the stone. Those strange steam creatures gone from your sight.
does it seem like this place has calmed down a little bit? Like the steam has thinned, or does it look basically the same as it was before?
It's a good look at you. As in fact, it does actually look like the steam has lessened. You can actually see a lot clearer to the opposite side of this this river flow. You can see the actual wall quite clearly now, whereas before it was much, much thicker, on the verge of being completely unpassable in terms of vision.
I suppose my worries were without merit. Thank you either way.
I just go up here and pick up my backpack and other things that I had to strip off before. It was unbearable. And then start heading back.
All right.
I made myself really want bear.
No.
Ooh, you were lagging real bad there, Dougie.
Crunchy.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Is it still lagging?
No,
It's a
it's
little better
better
now.
now. Let me bring the.
Okay.
All right, no one say anything because it sort of freaks out when I do this. All right, there we go. That should be better.
Okay.
You all are able to easily head out there and grab your bag, not lose your spell book. I know you were quite worried.
I didn't want to get jumped by steam dudes.
Yeah.
After the conclusion of your rest,
Where's
and fetching
Iris?
your
'Cause
things.
he needs. Sorry.
All right, good.
Where's Iris? Because he gets a good berry health point too, but I don't know where he went.
Oh, he's dead.
No, he's not.
He
You
got.
could drag it out.
Yeah, you can
Go.
just click
Oh,
on
yeah,
his
yeah.
name and drag him out, and his token should appear.
Right, I forgot I could do that.
Yeah, he's your Pokemon.
He's my Pokemon.
You're my best friend.
There. And he gets a good berry too.
Oh, Ibis.
And Ivis can also benefit from the short rest, rolling some of its hit die to.
I was looking at his character sheet, and I don't see any hit dice on his character sheet.
It's the
So I
ones
don't know.
next to his HP, so he has 6
I
d6
see.
hit dice available to him.
Wow. Well,
You can certainly roll all of them if you want.
I didn't mean to roll all of them. I don't know why it did that.
He's got lots of help now.
It doesn't automatically come monsters.
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
It does.
I'm gonna try just rolling one of them then.
Well, you
over...
could just take the first number if you hover over what was rolled, or that.
It's the same.
It's-
It was
Oh,
the person
boom.
was 3, so it's the same.
Fate. Fate has chosen Ivis.
Oh no, Ivis, no.
No. Oh, that's good enough.
So,
So,
like, we're gonna get up here. How'd y'all get invaded by these people? They just walk through your front door, or what?
They said they were here to speak with the Oracle on behalf of Sidon, and when we let them in, they drew their blades.
Y'all ain't got no guards or nothing?
You guys just let a bunch of followers of Sidon in? Is that normal?
Poseidon is her father.
And
I
approaches,
suspect it
gestures
may
to the
be.
giant 20-foot statue of him.
I mean, our temples always had guards.
You all right? As Kyra makes her way back into the Senna.
Atrium? Oh. Yes, what of Versi? How is she doing
Jeez.
after this ordeal?
She's much better. She is ready and able to see you now, if you all are ready.
Nyx is just gonna get up and
We
start
gotta
heading
go
towards
back.
the stairs.
Go back down there.
Yes, back down to the grotto.
Caves inside caves inside caves inside caves. I'll tell you. Just open these doors again.
They're trying to force your way through the doors.
There's another way around Mercury.
I know. But you think the doors that we went through the first time would open again?
But we didn't go through those doors. We went around the back.
I went through those doors the first time.
My lord.
Heroic.
Doors automatically
hearing the
close themselves behind you,
sound.
obviously. Let's see here. As you all proceed back down into the grotto, you hear Kyra chime up from behind you all. You all really did a number on her rugs. She was oddly cheery about it.
Well, I must say, they were the ones that tried to smother us.
Yes.
Oh fuck, they're alive again!
Welcome back, heroes. You can hear quite evidently there is a renewed confidence in Versu's voice. She seems to be back in control of herself.
Mayim?
Kyra, join me. And Inferior as well.
Oh. Very well.
Snick steps back away from the pathway to let Inferior through. As she was already going to start heading up there.
As Kyra sort of just skips along the stones, standing over to her side. Inferior, please, as she gestures over behind and to her right.
Inferior kind of warily skirts the rug and comes to
You can
the
see
place gesture.
the tassel sort of flap about. You can see the scorch mark on them gone, all the wounds and tears and these things sewn back up. Now, the rest of you.
Yep.
She sort of points out, Theamos.
Yes.
Come. Nix. You can see as you all start to make your way up, the living animated rug seem to sort of finally chill out.
Inferior, let's out of breath.
Mercury,
Yes, ma'am.
beckoning
Alright.
you forth.
Let's fly over.
Atreus. And Sophia.
Slow, solemn steps.
I'll just raise it a little bit higher so Atreus can walk under me if it needs to, or we can go around.
Where is she pointing?
I think Sophia was supposed to go there.
And Atreus
Yeah.
to the left of Sophia.
So an arrow.
Was I supposed to be over one, or am I in the right spot?
You're in the right spot.
Okay.
You're
she's-
singled out,
she's
babe.
Perfectly,
Now
yeah,
let
she's
the
gonna
ritual
Spartan kick you.
sacrifice begin.
Inferior's been through so much, she doesn't need to.
See what
be
happens
the
when you
object
skip
of
a session?
sacrifice.
Alright, Inferior, get in the tree.
Yeah, we all
Get in the
decided
fucking tree, Inferior.
You were here, but we decided last week that you'd be the sacrifice for the Oracle.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have
volunteer.
any objections, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Blood for the blood god.
Oh, man.
You can see Versi sort of stretch. Alright. I will need to begin the ritual of fate spinning. I ask that you all mentally prepare yourselves. It can be arduous in a way.
Like, what should we prepare for? We're gonna see some, like, hallucinations or something?
Possibly. You will hear, perhaps even see, and you will most certainly feel. And she just sort of hangs her head, closes her eyes, brings her hands down low. As the five of you assemble before Versi and Kyra, with Amphiria behind her, the Oracle sits on these repaired, lavish rugs. You can see the ends of them fluttering up. She sits with her legs crossed, head down, eyes closed. She then raises her hands above her head before bringing them down in front of her face, taking in a deep breath of air and sweeping her hands out from her. And when she does this, all the mist and steam in the grotto flows quickly out of the area, and you can see completely clearly in here for the first time. Versi's scales catch the light of the burning brazier and seem to almost glitter. You notice the sound of the water gurgling past, hot with foam, has ceased. Looking down, it's completely still, unmoving, like glass. Then she opens her mouth as an incantation flows from it, weaving a magic ritual in a language none of you understand. It sounds like beautiful, haunting singing, and it carries far through the cavern. The water seems to reverberate with her voice. Ripples of magical power shimmer and vibrate with energy. As she continues to call on this magic, the water behind and around you, defying any logic, like contorted glass, pulls itself up from the grotto, a delicate, solid-looking mass. It forms a glassy spindle before her, spinning on its own on the rug. And a large needle, it looks like perfectly cut sapphire, appears in her hand. And she jabs the needle out at the air before pulling on seemingly nothing with great effort. And you can see, caught on the edge of that needle, a bright green strand that she pulls down towards the spindle. It catches and collects more and more of the strand around its length. The fate of Thylea itself, she says out loud. She touches the spinning thread with the point of the needle, and blue sparks begin to come off of it. The five gods will die defending the settlers from the twin titans' wrath once the oath of peace ends. Mitros and its people will be destroyed and slaughtered. The mortal races will be forever changed, and none but Sidon and Lutheria will prosper in the era of night and storms. The mass of green on the spindle is now black and flashes with what you can only presume to be lightning. You can hear the thunder reverberating in your ears. But there is hope. Heroes strong of heart and will can raise themselves up to contest the Titans. He points the needle at you, Theamos, and quickly pulls a long, thick strand that emerges from your chest out into the air. You feel a sensation like cool water running down your head. Your strand shimmers between red, green, and blue out to the spindle. Nyx, from you she pulls a thin, frail-looking strand with no color, no light, solid black. Mercury, yours is also thin and frail, but it is only light, no color, painful to look at like the sun. Atreus, yours is strong and solid blue, and Sophia, yours is strong as well, shifting in color rapidly between black and white. And Inferior, without looking, she points the needle at you, and your strand falls from your chest a dark green, with flares of orange and red dancing across it. And as she pulls it to the spindle, you see a strange bracelet on Versi's right arm with purple markings and a purple gemstone. As your strand connects with it, as Versi sighs, muttering softly to herself, "I thought so." Loud enough only for Inferior to hear. Pulling from the bracelet to the spindle now, all these threads come together, and the mass on the spindle changes in color from a mishmash to a solid golden light. As Versi touches the needle to the interwoven threads, you can feel a force. First on your shoulders, like you're bearing your own weight, and then more and more, and then a force like a punch to your chest. As to all of you, she spins the new fate of Thylea. Her eyes awash with light, and her voice echoing and powerful. "You warriors who stand here gathered will be tested. The fates have revealed 3 great tasks that must be accomplished before you can sail into the 3 seas and face the Titans. You must shape the silver fires of the Lost Forge in order to craft the tools you will need. You must claim the mighty weapons wielded against the Titans by the first Dragon Lord. You must drink deep from the bottomless dragon horn, or it will reveal a vision that I cannot see. But woe unto thee, for I have seen the end of all things. My father's anger cannot be quelled, and his sister schemes even now. Your quest may yet fail, and if it should, the sky will rain black fire, and the doom of Thylea will come." Now, I know you all have your own guidance you seek from me. Let me look now upon the strands of your fates. And she looks out to all of you, taking her needle away from the spinning golden mass. You can see your individual threads still maintaining their own colors and patterns along them, but when they come together, forming that golden mass. She reaches out with a needle to your shimmering, strong strand, Theamos. For you, child of Pythor, I see your journey to Astoria. A reunion with family, but not without sacrifice. A quarry shared between father and son, but a Leia forgotten, unseen and unwon. A resplendent child by your side, your family grows, saved from the perils of the deep, dark below. Bare arms, forged by blood, against the one who now despises all love, and your family can become one. Fate be with you. As gently as she can, she touches the needle to your frail strand, Nyx. Your future is bound to night and dreams. The stars dance like they did that night so long ago. A sacrifice made in love has doomed you to torment. She shudders. I cannot see more than this. The darkness will not let me. But as she moves the needle further up your strand, I can see that your past is known by Demetria. Seek her in the old woods at the mossy temple. But be forewarned, she knows more because she is oath sworn to Lutheria. Your journey is as treacherous as it is fortuitous. Fate be with you. Like one would if dared to stick their hand in fire, she quickly holds the needle to your glowing strand, Mercury. Like trying to see past the sun. Your future is hard to discern, as is your past. One step leads to ruin, another to being forgotten entirely. I hear the plucking of strings from a faraway place, an artifact of your family, a connection to the end we all face. The mossy temple is where it resides. Find it and you will hear again a song as sweet as nectar. She moves the needle along the length of your strand. From there I see and hear golden coins, like a trail of blood streaked across grass and stone. The hiss of snakes and the clash of blades. A lover's cry, and then the sound of waves on the faraway shore. Fate be with you. With a steady hand, sure of herself now, she passes the needle along your strand, Atreus. Destiny shines brightly upon you, like a noonday blaze. I see you clad in glorious arms and armor, but there are evil dragons at work with the Titans, one of which took everything from you so long ago. Follow this path, and none of them will survive you. No more innocence will be engulfed in flames, towns razed and ravaged. If they are, they will know the bite of your sword and strike of your spear. An avenger for all who'd fall to draconic terror. Seek out the one which burns eternal, bound by right and stone, to start your armory. The fates of the forgotten sea know the threads of your past and future. Seek them out, but be wary. Fate be with you. Almost casually, the needle rests upon your strand, and you see the sapphire go from blue to gray, Sophia. walking with the dragon lords of old, but never truly a part of them. Seek out your ancestors' greatest student, an ancient and unending silent vigil he's taken deep within the necropolis. He will have answers to the nature of your curse and where you must go to break it. I see pink flowers and can hear flowing water. Now it thickens, boils, and bubbles with immense heat. Overwhelming, all-consuming heat before a chilling cold. Gray, thick snow falls all around you. Your path is one fraught with choice and peril. Be wary lest you be lost forever in the madness of the gray. Fate be with you. She sweeps the final strand from the spindle itself, dark green in color, and lets it shimmer down onto the bracelet on her arm. Versi gestures for you to sit across from her, Emphyria. Yours is a past quite painfully clear to me. You can see her eyes that were awash with light, now only one still channeling this energy, one of them looking at you with her own eye, and you can see a tear streaking down the side of her face from it. A past fraught with broken hearts, betrayal, and aspirations of power in both of your families. Two souls, and hundreds of years ago, the spirit matron before yours, or grandmother, as it would be commonly called, proved her way into the Hall of Storms and charmed my father, Sidon. It was through their relationship your spirit matron was beckoned into the world. And through her end, so you began. A destiny bound to restore the Dragon Lords to their former glory. A destiny your grandmother thought was her own, thanks to the machinations of the fates. Lutheria made sure that would not come to pass, and had Sidon slay her. In an effort to hide you from Lutheria, your mother returned to the soil and became your life tree. This bracelet was your grandmother's. She slides it off of her own arm, holding it out to you. May wisdom and sunny days bless your journey, little one. You can see the light from her other eye leave her entirely as she looks at you with familial closeness. As you receive... Oh yeah, where the fuck did I stick this thing? Oh,
you
know
lost
what? I
her
think
family heirloom.
I stuck it in her her treasure area already.
Oh, really?
Oh, heal.
Come Wow.
as you receive a mysterious inheritance. Receiving it from Versi, but in a strange way, it feels like it was always yours. As even with the magic of Identify or Arcana, something within this thing seems to be suppressing its properties for future reference, as it will not reveal itself until the 7th day of attunement.
Racist.
And we're gonna pull the clock back a little bit.
Jesus.
As
Brendan!
you spam Identify.
Wow.
As Sophia leans forward and snatches it. Let me see that.
No, I think if I know Brendan well enough, I think he wanted to identify it and then let me tell him to stop. He won't see anything. But my bad. I'll remember that for the future. But
I know what it is. It's the blank, blank, blank.
Yes, the blank, blank, blank.
Yes, you have to play a game of Hangman in order to figure out. If you don't, you die. All right.
Here, give me a letter.
As with that, you all, for your efforts getting to the Oracle and receiving both the prophecy for the world and for your own epic paths, you all are going to receive a fair amount of XP. For all the combat that you have gone through, you're going to receive 4,200 XP. For that wonderful moment of inspiration a session ago.
This is an each, okay.
Yeah. For that wonderful moment of inspiration a session ago, getting your inner thoughts and sharing them so wonderfully, you all will receive 600 more XP for saving the Oracle and for saving Diana. Excuse me. You all get another 600 XP. And for completing the first chapter of this Odyssey, you receive another 150 XP.
So what's that total?
925.
925 each.
Yep.
So 2,700 apiece. Total.
As you all should
Right
have
at the level
20.
That's a ding.
What is
Fires are
it?
done.
It was
That coinky
20.
dink number right there.
What's the number?
Shut your mouth, young man.
Coinky dink numbers!
As that
What's
should
the
be
number?
enough. 2,700, sorry.
Thank you.
As that should be enough to bring you all to 4th level. Now, I will ask that you hold off on dealing with all that, because we're going to take a break in a little bit, but not just yet, as there's a bit more that we need to get done. As we're going to rewind time just ever so slightly, second by second, as we have a little bit to go through here. As you all were receiving your divinations to your future, your personal ones, you all had a bit of a moment to yourselves. As Sophia, as the Oracle's words about your future washed over you, you could see, again, smoke and mist seem to fill the grotto once more, swirling together, and for a brief moment, filling your vision entirely. As listen carefully so you can hear your special motif.
Turn up the music.
Gray, with flecks of brown and black, a vortex pattern that you can't look away from. You feel your eyes shift in their sockets, but the vision doesn't change. As you look into this maddening infinity, you can't help but feel like something is looking back at you, far, far away. And then you blink your eyes once more, and you see the grotto around you, and everything is as it should be. And before you know it, you're struck with a tiny bit of magical inspiration. An idea, a slight change in the incantation, a pivot in the flow of the magic. A change. No. A metamorphosis. As you unlock the boon of Grease Metamagic, slippery oil floods the ground under your foes, sending them tumbling to the ground. Usually. Now, even if they keep their footing, you'll still exert control on the outcome. As when you cast Grease, the first creature that succeeds on the saving throw against the spell is slid 10 feet in a direction of your choosing.
Ooh.
As... Did it pop up?
Do I get to, like, pick the first one?
If there are multiple creatures at the same time, it is your... Yeah, priority passes to you.
Cool beans.
As that is the Visage of the Vortex you saw as well. As that is your boon, my friend, for completing the first chapter. A word from beyond reaching out to you. Strangely now, a voice you had not heard in a very long time. Something is still out there, though suppressed, locked away. As Inferior.
Yeah.
You have quite the interesting history. So I'll play your motif as well. One that stretches longer than almost anyone else in the group. And fate willing, will continue on long past all of them. In your time and training, you've become well learned at many things. Experience is an excellent teacher, even more so when you've had to survive on your own for much of your life. Especially where you grew up. A place of constant improvement and refinement. A place that would not tolerate weakness or fragility of mind. You've taken in all you could from that place, and can now readily instruct others. As you unlock the boon of crucial advice, you are wiser than first impressions belie. The sooner your friends realize this, the safer and better off they'll be. As a reaction, when a friendly creature within 30 feet of you that you can see or hear makes a skill check using a skill in which you're proficient, you can, after they've made the roll, but before the results have been declared, allow them to re-roll the skill check with a flat bonus equal to your wisdom modifier. They must use the second roll, and you can use this ability once per short rest.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, so pretty.
Ooh. Awesome.
As we grab my main man from down south,
Oh,
Mercury.
All right, go ahead, Theamos. Yep.
Mercury, you hung on to the names and stories of those who'd fallen to the divine boar. And you not only remembered them, but celebrated them. They serve as a reminder of what chasing glory and heroism can be. A tale not often told. For every successful hero, there are 100 who failed. With your goals and ambitions far ahead of you, you can't afford to fail. The party can't forget what happened to Cal, Orin, Santos, and Kat. Stories of the one who prevail are great. But sometimes you need a cautionary tale. As you unlock the boon of cautionary tale, your warning inspires your allies to be vigilant against danger from all sides. Your comrades exercise caution, waiting until they can strike with greatest effect. Always gotta remember that with the God of the Dawn, it's always a blessing when she brings a new day into your life. As a bonus action, you can start a magical performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. You create a magical aura within 15 feet of yourself that moves with you, increasing defenses and enhancing their ability to strike down foes. During that time, you and any friendly creatures in that aura do not suffer disadvantage on defense rolls from any hostile creature attacks from within the aura, unless they are incapacitated. Additionally, while in the aura, each allied creature in that aura, including you, deals an extra 1d6 damage when it attacks with any attack made as a reaction. You can continue this effect on subsequent turns using your bonus action. The performance ends early if you are incapacitated or silenced, or if you voluntarily end it, no action required. Once per long rest, my guy.
That's cool.
Keeping it moving. And for the purposes of measurement, it's considered like a square aura, so you can like go into your token and see how like large that actually is, and just set it to square. Let's see here. Theamos, you have heard the words of the oracle. Your family can be reunited. It may even grow. But as you hear these words, just ever so softly, like a memory, or perhaps something you're hearing even now, the beautiful voice of your mother carrying immeasurably far into your mind. A song she often would hum to you in your youth. Though you were born of the god of war, you did not take up arms, even when trained to be a soldier. But with all that transpired then, and with what has been foretold now, there is something that burns within you. A piece of hope that may now feel vindicated for not allowing itself to be snuffed out. Even now, you swear you can hear the sound of your mother's voice as she sings to you. Far away, but still here. Vitalis hoped, nay, dreamed of being a dragon lord. Now you've steeled yourself and taken up his sword and shield, bearing their weight not on your back, but in your hands, where they are far more heavy. Now his hope burns within you as well. A child of a god, fated to finish what his father could not. Save a mother, thought beyond saving, and rebuild a family, a fellowship lost to time. Channel that fire within you into your blade, and make sure that no one loses faith. As you unlock the boon, Strike of Hope. Your weapon flashes with divine light that sears your enemy and lifts your allies' hearts with renewed vigor and purpose. They are in the presence of the divine. They will not falter, and you will not lose. As an action, you can make a single weapon attack against a hostile creature. If that attack hits, the damage type is radiant damage, and you deal additional damage equal to your charisma modifier. Hit or miss, one ally within 20 feet of you, not including yourself, gains temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier ×2. If the ally is bloodied, the temporary hit points increase by 10. And you use this charisma times per long rest.
Cool.
There's a
Charisma
boat.
modifier?
Yes.
Okay. No, you could use it 20 times per long rest.
And now, in recognition of, well, to me, one of the most memorable moments of an albeit short chapter, let us listen to the journey of Atreus. Atreus, some call you a hero. Others call you the chosen one. But a few called you brother. They were the ones who knew you best. You are a soldier, a hoplite, a man driven by purpose and duty to do what must be done. When Sophia called the retreat and you saw Inferior getting left behind, you did not think. You did not hesitate. You moved. You broke her free with no regard for anything besides your duty as a soldier. You dug deep, pushing past your limits, and carried her from the umbral gates of Hades back across the stream and out of that corruption. You were triumphant, an absolute inspiration on the battlefield, and now if you need to do this again, you can. As you unlock the boon of fearless rescue. One of your allies falls, and without regard for your own well-being, you rush to make the attacker pay. Your bravery inspires your ally to fight on. No one gets left behind.
Yes.
As a reaction, when a friendly creature within 30 feet of you is reduced to 0 hit points by a hostile creature, you can move to the nearest unoccupied space from which you can attack the attacking creature and make a single weapon attack. This movement does provoke opportunity attacks. If your attack hits, you add triple your proficiency bonus to the attack's damage. The friendly creature can recover hit points by spending 1 hit die. They also gain an additional 1d8 temporary hit points for every opportunity attack you provoke while moving to the target. You can use this ability once per long rest.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Peter, look at you!
Yes.
Now I feel better about big ol' heroic deeds. As I go blow my nose again, hang on.
Oh, good.
Gotta
smells
shake
sick.
it. Gotta shake allies and throw them out there like, oh no, look, you're so low on health. Oh no, what are you gonna do?
Well, Sophia, you ready to be my actual shield? Alright, you take all the damage, and it'll work out.
Work out. I'll save you.
Theamos, I'm sorry, but we're sacrificing Darius again. Get out there, Darius.
All right. Well done, the 5 of you. Now, let me turn down the journey of Atreus. You get to enjoy your bit of a MVP circling there with your full song. You may not level up yet, as you'll need to take a long rest anyway to level up. I know.
Boo.
I know.
Yeah, that's yeah, that makes sense.
And with that, we return to the present. We return to the scene that we were in. With Inferior receiving her bracelet. And Versi looking at you with pain and sadness, but also care for you.
I have a family? Had, I guess.
I am sorry, little one. I suppose, in a way, you and I are family. I guess I would be your aunt, technically.
I don't. I never thought I would have anything other than my grove.
I understand. I hope you all can see clearly the path for yourselves. I know my spinning of your fates is... It is taxing for me. And it is not always clear. But I hope you will all hang on to my words, for they ring truer than even I can ever know. But I can try my best to answer any and other questions you all might have. As Versi, like, sort of, still, if Inferior would give her hand, still holding on to it, looks while sitting at the rest of you. As you can see, the spinner finally slows to a stop. The strands connecting you all to it just seem to sever from that spinner and sort of pull back into yourselves, disappearing quite quickly as it just rolls this little bit of glass off into the water before turning back to water and disappearing. The ritual of fate spinning completed.
Well,
Y'all got any questions?
Right. So, yeah,
who's next?
I think I might need to go sit down for a while here.
I understand.
Mystics not gonna move.
Is we supposed to save the damn world?
It sounds like it.
Well, shit.
It is a lot to ask, but I can see clearly it can be done by you all. If you face the three great labors that were asked of you, claim the weapons of the Dragon Lords, forged at the Mithril Forge by the god Vulcan. They were capable of wounding the Titans and those descended from them. But they are up the peaks of Telemach, an necropolis in the Mithril Mountains. Perilous and dangerous climb. They were built to house the remains of the Dragon Lords who came to Thylea 5 centuries ago. No one ever goes there now. It is an extremely difficult climb through the highest peaks. Undead from conflicts past, and those who tried to venture into the necropolis roam its snowy peaks. And it is guarded by an undead gatekeeper known as Daemon, who must be paid with a special kind of coin before he will allow anyone entrance. As Kyra sort of chimes in from behind, "Ah, yes, we'll need to find the burnished coin of the Dragon Lords. You wouldn't happen to have one, would you, Versi?" "No, of course not. Your best bet at finding one most likely be the Mithril Forge."
The forge where our first task must take place.
Yes, your other labor. Light the fires of the Mithril Forge, used by the dwarves and Vulcan to construct those weapons of the gods. They can be used again to build powerful magic items or repair ancient ones that no longer work. You know, we should go to Astoria, Kyra chimes in again. A clan of dwarves works the local copper mines, and they're likely to know more about the forge's exact whereabouts. It might be worth checking in with them.
I
I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds a good enough lead as any.
And you said you had to drink from a bottomless horn, right, Versi?
Of a
Yes.
dragon's horn?
Where the
It's a
heck
dragon
you gonna
mouth.
find one of them? Well, probably dwarfs again. They drink a lot.
Well, I believe that's referring to the horn of Balmatria. An actual dragon horn. From
Oh,
the strongest silver dragon, but lost in battle against the Gigans. But I remember the priest of Mitros recovered it, and the five consecrated it. I think it's also in Astoria, actually. It's supposed to be in a reliquary there. I think the Dragon Temple? Watched over by... What's that little one's name? Aesop, I think. Yeah, definitely Aesop, the dragon priest.
dragons.
Well, sounds like we're heading to Astoria.
Astoria is a fascinating place.
Yes,
bad.
further west.
Yeah, so there's actually like a pretty quick road from here to Astoria. Actually, if you were to go around from where we came in at, we can circle around and take the road there. It's the easiest path to get here, but unfortunately we weren't coming from Astoria, otherwise we'd have taken that.
You'll be accompanying us, Kyra.
Yes, of course. I have to record, well, everything that happens. Come on now, this is the greatest story ever told. And I have the exclusive scoop to it.
What about you, Oracle? You gonna get yourself some gods or something, or you just gonna let Sidon come in here again and kill a lot of people? You gonna be safe?
I have given a missive for Pythor. He owes me a favor anyway. I will see that I am well protected.
What of the time between us getting there and him receiving the message and getting back? Will you be safe during that time?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, if anyone's gonna know nothing, it's gonna be you. I mean, you probably seen him already here.
I will need to divide my own future for that, and it is a frightening process, to say the least. Percy, you said they had to sail across 3 seas, but there's only 2. The Cerulean Gulf and the Forgotten Sea. Where's the 3rd sea? Huh. Of course, you've never been there. I'm referring to the Nether Sea. A place deep beyond what we normally see. We will need to go to Carbidus to even have a hope of reaching it. I would not go there for a long time if you can help it.
I would prefer to avoid the Forgotten Sea. My last journey across it was difficult.
So first we speak to the dwarves in Astoria to locate the forge. We speak to a dragon priest in the same city, inquiring about the dragon's horn.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever is the easiest to acquire, we will first.
Well,
And once we have the forge, once we get to the forge, rather, light its fires, create the coin and weapons, and go to the necropolis. Is that correct?
I would, for your sakes. Do everything you can to save the necropolis for last. There is a reason no one attempts the challenge of Xander any longer. It only gets harder with everyone that failed.
You would have us sail the seas first.
No, as she was trying to convey, if you can help it, light the fires of the Mithril Forge, or get the Horn of Balmatria. Well, basically, do either one of those in whatever order you want first. She warns that the necropolis, out of the three of them, is the absolute most treacherous.
I mean, we don't even need to take the horn. She just said we need to drink from it.
Yes.
There are always consequences for such things. I would not write it off as easy.
I believe it's supposed to have magical powers. The ability to grant visions to those who drink from it. Perhaps it'll provide even more guidance to your path. Kyra chimes in from behind again.
Well, I think it might be good we all maybe rest a bit, then head on to Astoria. Anybody got any objections?
No.
That is probably wise.
Yes.
Aunt, do you mind if we rest here? Can I call you Aunt?
Of course you may, sweetheart. I was actually going to suggest it. There are some unused quarters past mine and deeper into the cave. I'm sure they will be suitable, and, well, I feel quite safe knowing you all are here as well.
I mean, in the caves?
No.
Sleep underground?
They are proper quarters. Very similar to the ones you saw above, but just unused.
Ugh.
You'll survive being underground for a day, Mercury.
I mean,
night, I guess.
Don't make no sense. Why would you put beds underground?
For safety, for convenience.
I hate to burst your bubble here, Fury, but based on what we came down here the first time, just because it's underground don't mean it's safe.
This is Versi's domain. She has it the way as she pleases. If you would like to not sleep underground, you can go back out with the horses and your mule. But she offered us a place. If you do not wish to take it, then do not.
I'll say it if no one else will. I came here for a specific task. What you tell us, no doubt if they overshadows that. To mute out our own concerns. To wash away what we once were. I won't be silenced. I won't take this burden and give up my own. If you saying that the tasks ahead will lead us to our own answers, so be it. But I've been destined before. I don't rely upon such things anymore. So promise to me. If taking up this task means giving up on what we need from you, from what we came here for, then you'll understand if I let the world burn.
If the world burns, what good is finding your answers? You will burn along with it. But
the grey doesn't burn. It will live long after everything burns. If the Titans rule again in 1,000 years, the grey will still be there. Doesn't matter what animal walks on the earth. But a knowledge like that, I wish to bring it back. And I will not give up on that. I came here for a purpose, and that purpose is my entire being.
A lot of you will face heavy opposition in your purposes. You will not be able to face them alone, and if you can survive them, they will make you stronger, wiser, quicker, and in your case, smarter. Follow your purpose. Sure. Aid those that would aid you in it. But do so that you may prevent the doom of Thylea as well. These things are interwoven, Sophia. They cannot be broken apart any more than an adamantine rod can be split in half.
Then answer the questions that I came here for. Why can I no longer hear her voice?
This thing you are connected to. She sort of just pulls out her needle again, just the needle without the spinner. You can see it sort of shimmer in her hand, that blue, and then flecks of gray upon it. You cannot hear it. But can you not feel it? Look within yourself. Know it to be true. This thing has put all of its hopes in you. It has reached out from somewhere far beyond this place. Not just in distance. It is no longer here, where you can see, feel, taste, breathe. It is locked away somewhere else. But even now, it desperately claws out to you. I think this gray is doing everything it can to aid you. It still is connected to you. Follow
And
these.
Necrosis holds the answer. So be it. Sophia just sort of resigns herself to it and looks away. Her eyes just sort of defocus as she can just sort of staring off into nothing.
Can't see my future, but you seem to be able to see my past. I have many questions of it. You mentioned a follower of Lutheria, Oathbound. What did they do? What happened that night of the eclipse? When all the younglings of my brood fated, but I remained. When my mothers faded instead of me. Why?
Sacrifice was demanded, and a sacrifice was given. Death comes in many forms, as does love, and that is why you are still here. I know not what part Demetria played in this, or if she did. All I know is perhaps, well, perhaps she will have the answers you seek, the certainty that you desire. I do know this. Death hangs over you like the worst form of curse. You will suffer, Nyx. I feel like Lutheria demands it. You feel a bit of a prickle on your tattoo.
As
Marking, rather.
she says that, Nyx starts unclipping the pin from her sleeve and pulls it down. Is that what this mark means? Is that why it's growing? It was a mere ring when I emerged, and now it's grown up my arm like heinous branches upon my skin.
I think it is a mark, a symbol of your connection to death itself. More than this, I do not know.
As Nyx looks down upon this mark of black trailing up her arm like branches. Less than a year ago, I heard a voice in the stars, a giggling after almost losing my life to what would have seen as an unfortunate accident. You say death looms over me, but it feels like it is attached to me. Is there any way I can shake it?
Your best hope? Confront the Lady of Night herself, the Mistress of Death. She is undoubtedly connected to this.
May the Five guide me to her realm. I will have my answers. As Nyx sighs and she starts concealing her arm again.
I mean, you couldn't see nothing?
It was like looking at the sun itself, Mercury. I am sorry. I only saw what I saw.
Hell. Well, I don't know why I should expect anything different from here. I suppose save the world, kill titans. Fucking gods.
Perhaps that artifact connected to your family. Perhaps it will give you answers or clarity. I am sorry that I have failed you, I suppose.
Yeah, that probably ain't your fault. Probably some stupid god messing with mortals again. Stupid shit.
Anyone else? Anything else?
Why me? I admit, Mercury, when you asked me about the dragon, I didn't know what you heard of me. I was merely responding in bravado. Perhaps I took on the boar and those trees and whatnot. Cultists. Those are mortal creatures, or something to easily defeated with a sword, a spear, and defended with a shield. And yet in the face of something supernatural, everyone else could stand against it and I could not. What makes you believe I could?
Even gods feel fear. It is not something that they, in all their might and power, can escape from. It is so often why. She sort of clenches Inferia's hand a little bit tighter. You are a mortal man, Atreus. And you have mortal problems. But somewhere, out in the forgotten sea, fate weaves the tapestry of Thylea, and in you, in your destiny, streaks, mithril strands. Your purpose is unknown to me. But what I do know is it is your fate to be extraordinary. You are an exception. This is something you cannot shake.
Mention the dragon. Cursed me so long ago. You open up old scars that have long been closed. Remind me of a pain as fresh as it was once inflicted. Am I truly destined to face off against that beast?
Yes. I can see that even if you try to run from it, it will find you. For it is interwoven with you more closely than anything else. That is a fate you cannot escape. Even if you were to lay down your arms and take up the cloth, it would come for you.
I will journey to slay this beast, like you said. Not in vengeance. As closure for me and my village, and as protection against all the other innocents from the wrath of the Titans. Vengeance is cold. I do not need it on this journey.
I understand. You do what you must, the way that you will, and you will triumph. Complete the great labors I have foreseen along your strings of fate. They will give you all answers and clarity. That I truly believe. From there, pursue your own goals. Aid each other and those you find on your odyssey. And with that, you will gain the strength you need to stop Thylea and Sidon. And you will find absolution and completion. Looks at you again, Atreus, and closure. In stopping the doom of Thylea, you all will find what it is you desire.
So, I get. No, wow. Get to meet a dragon?
back at you, a soft smile spreading across her face. I think sooner than you anticipate.
You've already met. It's right here.
A real dragon.
I'm sure with some time, Darius could grow to be a real dragon. And you'd be around long enough to see it.
I would. Hopefully.
Good?
Yeah.
Alright. If you will follow me, I can take us to the old quarters.
Alright.
Thank you, Versi.
Thank you. She would lead you all in, not too much further. Actually, you don't really go down much either. Just past where that strange watery creature was, and perhaps maybe about 10 feet or so north from the edge of the map, there is another door with another hallway leading to a really familiar sight. Not out here, mind you, but this closed off space as map tokens. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Alright, time to sleep. This is our bedroom.
Yeah, everybody, pick a stair, pick a step.
Yep.
As It's simply down the hall.
The third step.
To your left, Mercury. Unlike before, you don't see a big set of double doors. You just see solid wall. And to your right,
so those aren't doors.
you see a set of doors, though.
This place shifted.
Investigate the wall, see if it's an illusion.
It's not. I'm artfully reusing a map to reutilize the servants'
so we're not.
quarters.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
you're
not
not actually
literally
back up.
where we were. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. The upstairs is full of blood and suffering. This is just an old quarters that we're reutilizing.
The dynamic lighting is real.
Very real.
Looks so much bad, but I can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see?
Do you need light?
I can see like
You just gotta come down the hallway.
Oh, she made it.
I made it into a room.
As Versi thanks you all one last time before heading back out to her own quarters, with each of you having your own space to ruminate and think on the events of the day and her words. As
Begin to attune my bracelet.
nice. Putting on the bracelet and beginning your attunement to it. Are there any sort of sleepover conversations as you all have your rooms? Anything before we officially long rest?
I guess I
You all have your privacy.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ruminate on being told the world's ending and we gotta go save.
You.
I'm gonna try to figure out the whole, like, I have a family thing. I wasn't just born out of a tree? What?
And your tree was your mom. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
The, like, super crazy, ironic, beautiful thing about that is that in what parts of my backstory I have written so far, I've been calling it the mother tree. And I want to die.
Good job.
I'm like, what?
Nyx is gonna take a moment to just shed off all her layers, just drop her cloak and her sleeve before going to visit Impheria, who's been through a lot in the last couple of days. Impheria, hopefully you haven't gotten to bed quite yet.
No. I'm admiring this bracelet. I didn't know I had a family to inherit anything from.
Well, that must be very exciting news.
Yeah.
It is a lovely thing. Nyx is holding a spearhead, a broken piece of handle wrapped up in leather, and little seashell charms dangling from it. This is all I have of my mother now. So I understand the value of such an heirloom.
Yeah. I thought I lost everything when my grove burned. And yet I find I had a mother and a grandmother and now an aunt, and there was a woman with the Amazons, Gamira. She was the one who trained me, and I always thought that she was the closest thing I would have to a mother, to what a mortal would call a mother.
I know what you mean. Several hundred years ago, after I had left my islands, an Oread had taken me in, Renee. I found myself caught in one of her traps, and she said it was one of the saddest things she had ever seen. But she cared for me, and she taught me, similarly to Gamira, for you, I suppose, the way of the hunt, the way of the woods, though mine were in the mountains.
Yeah.
I understand the desire to have your own family in connection to your grove, dear youngling, but I do assure you that there is much family to be found outside of that.
Yeah. There's...
Rest well.
Thank you.
We have quite
too.
the task ahead of us.
Indeed.
Nyx is gonna slip out and go back to her room for the night.
All right. With that, you all are able to rest for the night. For a time, it is quiet, dark, unmoving. Sleep comes to you all with a surprising degree of ease, whether it be the soreness, just the exhaustion, just the thoughts that were racing through your mind, put off for another day. But soon, a woman's voice begins to emanate from the darkness around you.
Oh no.
So, Your great quest begins. Off to become heroes, are you? Mortals are so very proud.
The light shines in the dark, illuminating the sad and pathetic figure of an old man who's been hogtied to a stake.
Look at this one. He's falling to pieces. Joints stiff, skin slack, teeth gone. The life is practically dripping out of him.
Inky black shadows fall across the old man. He flinches and squirms, panicking as something draws closer, something that you cannot see. But he can. So clearly what comes for him.
Yes, his sad mortal life is leaking away. But I wonder what will happen to his soul.
As the mortal's flesh and bone and viscera all strip away, you see a soft blue light in the form of that man. You see his very soul bound by ropes of shadow, the light illuminating him gone. Now just the light of his being, the only thing you can see in the infinite dark. The old soul thrashes violently against his restraints, screaming into his gag as from all around him, blades wreathed in green energy surround him in a ring around his head. The wicked blades descend down, floating now by his spectral feet. And then they begin to move. Slowly but surely spinning around and around. The energy cracks out violently like a whip into the soul. And you feel the lash of pain this soul does. Then the blades close in and around his feet, tearing into him, ripping his soul asunder. His screams are unlike any sound you can comprehend, perpetual agony and madness. And as you watch the blades crawl up his ankles and his legs, wailing with each second, you awaken from the nightmare, bathed in sweat. All of you, except Nyx.
Can I do anything? Am I just frozen?
This ain't Thursday, you frozen, you ain't seeing shit.
I can't control this dream!
Nyx. Yours has been a life of few blessings, and even fewer friends. No fault of your own, just simply a result of the curse you've been marked by since your spirit entered this world. A night you'll always remember, one full of sorrow, hate, and angst, but also love. So many matrons and patrons suffered that night, but yours did not. But they knew you would get to feel the sun's glow. And now, with these other chosen ones around you, I'll give you a gift. You can protect them. You can support them and keep them safe. But you know misfortune and pain follow you everywhere. It has kept you all alone all this time, with only an exception or two. But it will not be easy. It will come at a cost. You just have to be willing to suffer for them. Suffer for me.
And who, pray tell, are you, who cowers in the darkness?
You receive no answer. But you do receive, well, one may call it a boon, one may call it a curse, but you awaken in pain, your mark upon your arm changing upon your skin like someone is driving a hot knife through your flesh. You can hear the ominous chime of metal far away and heavy singing reach your ears, a chant most ominous. As you unlock the boon of sun's glow and night's suffering, you are already doomed. Why not help those around you see the dawn, even if it means the sun sets on you? Once per day, you can, as a bonus action, give any creature of your choice within 15 feet of you advantage on their next saving throw and advantage on their next defense roll. This effect lasts for 10 minutes. For each creature you give this effect, you gain a number of night charges equal to the number of creatures. And while you have a night charge, you have disadvantage on your next saving throw or defense roll from a hostile creature. And this disadvantage is not cancelled out by any source of advantage. When you make a saving throw or defense roll with disadvantage due to this effect, reduce your number of night charges for each one you make. Your night charges do not expire. And after the pain clears, you blink away the tears from it, you can see your mark upon your arm has changed into a most mysterious pattern. One may call it beautiful, but for you, you know it marks you as doomed. As that is what you see upon your arm. A complex, beautiful pattern, but a painful one. I don't know, draw it every Sunday. Good luck.
Nyx is going to go into her bag and grab her spear, the spear of her mother's, and just cling on to the leather-wrapped base. Be strong, my star. You're going to be okay. As she whispers her mother's parting words to her. And she waits to hear the stirring of her new friends.
As that is where we're going to call tonight's session. Oh, with that, we conclude tonight's episode of Heroes of Thylea. And I sincerely hope that you all enjoyed what we've played tonight, and I hope you all will want to come back next week to find out, well, where it is these oracles chosen are going to go, what it is they're thinking about the oracle's words to them. And, well, Kyra, unbeknownst to them, has a bit of a proposition for them, one that will aid them in their journey and, well, help make sure that no one outshines anyone else. Because here in Thylea, being a hero means being famous, and fame is everything. So be sure to tune in right here on Lionhead Gaming via Twitch at 5 p.m. Eastern next Sunday. We also record this game for the Lionhead Gaming official podcast, available on all major podcasting platforms. Just search Lionhead Gaming and you'll find us. We have 2 other excellent shows for you throughout the week. On Tuesday, Kingdoms of the South at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, as I know I've been saying this, but finally, Truly,
Finally!
the Apex Alliance are really riding out this time. I promise you. I promise. If John makes me a liar, I'm just going to just take the game and just fucking make the combat happen. I'm just gonna start killing NPCs until we start rolling initiative. I promise.
Murder our way to war.
Yep. So be sure to check us out this Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for Kingdoms of the South, as the Apex Alliance finally enacted the plan of Lucas Oriti. Now that they've had their emotional confrontation, aired some things out, and will need to restabilize on that drama, be sure to check out the VOD for more information on that. And on Thursday, Song of Rapture continues at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, as the valiant Vanguard have fought off a group of scouts and a group of lookouts, I guess, of kobolds, and beaten them back quite successfully. And now they continue on in their climb of Mount Kot to eventually face Subsidious, a great red dragon who seeks to perhaps burn all of Mobia. Can they put a stop to him? Can they find out who's behind his motivations? Persephone has seen strange things and heard even stranger in his dreams. Maybe they will find answers to those questions. So be sure to tune in on Thursday and see what happens. I'm excited to play, and I hope you're all excited to watch. And on that note, if you want to continue discussing the game, or maybe talk about the latest UA or homebrew, or just kick back and share memes with myself, the cast, and the other fans of Lionhead Gaming, be sure to join the Lionhead Gaming official Discord, which you can see a link to in the chat. Just do !Discord, you'll get that link. And you can also follow me on Twitter, at Lionhead_gaming. And we are, like I said at the beginning, running a giveaway for Women's History Month. So be sure to check out the link in the chat for that, so you can enter yourself into said giveaway and get a chance to win excellent both DM and player resource, the Uncaged Anthology, via DM's Guild. And check the stream, or not the stream, the podcast description for any of you podcast listeners who want a chance to win as well. You also get to enter on in. So with that, we are going to go ahead and search for someone else playing some wonderful D&D. Go ahead and give them a little raid. So be sure to hop on into our raid as we ride out to them and spam emotes and wish them luck with their own journeys and all that good stuff. So, without further ado, a final thanks, and as always, may your dice roll 20s, and you always make your saves.
Toodles!
Bye.
raid of 9. Wow. Thank you guys. Thank you for the raid. I will wait for any commercial ads that might be popping up in my stream because I never run ads because I should. But welcome, 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 welcome. Lionhead Gaming! I was watching you guys earlier. I had to go prepare for this. How was your stream? How are you guys doing? We are just in the midst of showing off a magic show.